seated, sir.
Oh, here we go.
Lovely jubbly.
I like these cushions. This is like a change. I was expecting.
We spend no expense.
Yeah, he's a bit uncomfortable if you're on there for a while.
No expense on the CREWCast.
Yeah.
What episode is this?
33?
Is it 34 or 33?
I can have a
I
look.
thought it was 35. It's definitely not 33.
Oh, I don't know. I lost count.
It was because that skip week's messed us up.
I know. Hold on. We are on 34.
Get in. 34 whole weeks. That's not bad going.
Not too shabby.
It's not bad going.
Was it 34 minus 1 consecutively?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because we were on such. It's
Let's
like
just pretend
now
that
we've
didn't
had to start again. So we're at 1.
That's
We're at 2 now. No, we're at 2.
Yeah.
It's like
Back
when
to 2.
Snapchat streaks were a thing.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Jesus.
The thing is, that means none of us can go on holiday
Oh yeah. No, that'd be true.
ever again.
We'd have to pre-record those ones.
Yeah. All right.
But
Okay.
apparently, you're not allowed to do that on podcasting. It's frowned upon.
No, if they don't know.
Yeah.
Frowned up. Yeah, pretend like.
Fuck the haters. I'll go
Just
there.
put some little stand-ins,
Yeah.
cardboard cutouts.
Or we'll just leave little blank words where we can dub something
Just
in
dub
after.
it in.
So today on the news, blank happened.
So today on the news, JFK was back in the news. They've solved it.
Yeah.
It wasn't on the grassy mound the whole time. Episode 34. It's not a political one. Don't worry about it.
No, not at all.
We couldn't
I
do
don't
it
think
even if we
ever
tried.
will. No.
No, but the third voice that you're hearing is Zac Schneider.
Hello.
He's actually Zac. What is your last name?
Hancock?
That's the one. Why can't I remember that? I should remember that it's a movie.
Yeah.
It's so easy to remember.
The thing is, it was cool until Matt Hancock came and did his thing. Yeah, so up until like 6 months ago, whenever that was,
Yeah.
people was like, oh, that's a really cool name.
Yeah.
And now go,
Zac
oh, people go, oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
And I'm like, God, it used to be cool.
Yeah.
But,
So for those that don't know, well, actually, can we all just appreciate that we've all got like man bun things going on right now? And just we're all tied up.
Yeah.
La, 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 la. We are shooting on an R5, so if the YouTube footage is better, might have to get that because the EOS is pissing me off. Keeps not playing ball, but hopefully Zac's going to fix that as well whilst he's here because we like to utilise all the brains in the room when we do it. But interesting. Well, what would you call yourself? Because you do cool shit, but I don't think that's a job title you can actually put on a CV.
so on like what I tell people is like I'm a director because a lot of the things I do is in creative and you
I have
direct.
a funny
vision.
story about that as well that I need to tell you
Yeah.
in a bit about you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm nervous now. But it's one of them. It's content creator is one of those words which are thrown around a lot, but that's what I'd say fits the bill. But because I do a lot of commercials and I do a lot of stuff with brands and activities, but it's more about the creation side so from concept to execution, and I do more of the directing rather than the producing.
Yeah.
Done some pretty cool things, music videos for like Medusa and the Good Boys, Bongo Cha Cha Cha. So it's pretty cool.
And what's coming up?
Loads of stuff which I don't know if I'm allowed
What's
to
the
talk
awesome
about.
thing that's coming up?
Oh, okay. We did a thing for Slaters recently. Is that the thing that's coming up?
No, but we can talk about that one too.
Oh, right. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so if you did
Yeah.
see on my Instagram and things, we did. There was a preview of me wearing an awesomely pink waistcoat, salmon pink, baby pink. I don't know actually what you call it, soft pink.
Pink.
It's not pink.
I think
it's not like garish pink.
Isn't it
It's like an organic cotton salmony pink.
burgundy.
No, that was the trousers.
That was the trousers.
And the shoes. But basically, I did that breathing thing then. Did you hear that then? What is that about? I'm not a fucking bulldog. Right. We had this discussion last week. I've caught myself doing 3 retarded things in life. One is the breathy thing.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is. It's like my throat is getting smaller as I grow. Maybe I'm getting so muscular.
You're getting so jacked.
So jacked. My esophagus is just getting squeezed out. Yeah. It's like we don't need that as much. It talks too much anyway. And what was it? Oh, I do T-Rex arm when I'm listening. So if I've been gesturing with 2 arms, and then you start talking and I relax, this arm's like, yeah, cool, you talk. This one goes, So what's that about? Little T-Rex arm, and it just hangs there for infinite time because that's full relaxed. It's not even aware it's up.
That's just like a little pose.
Yeah.
I quite like
I'm
very
teapotting.
charming.
I'm teapotting.
Yeah.
So I'm going, and then teapotting. And then I've also figured out that I sneer sometimes when someone says something really interesting. Because I'm like, oh, yeah. So.
What about the like?
Oh,
like?
and then but this is a personal thing. I've caught myself saying like so much
Mm.
because I've got some friends like, see, there it is again. There's no need for that. They're not like doing it. This is what they're doing. When did we start doing
What
it?
happens if you put all 3 or 4 together in one moment?
The world ends.
Yeah.
Everything within a 20-foot radius explodes.
Yeah.
It's like Thanos' click of the fingers, but shorter range. No, the cool. Go back. Yes, cool thing that you were doing.
So this is like I'm guessing right now we're talking about hopefully
Next week's thing.
the partnering, the next week's thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the next week.
God, you're doing so
There's
many cool
so
things.
many-
You don't even know which
yeah.
one it is. Oh,
So-
you mean this one or that one or this one? Yeah.
It does. It blows the mind. But no, next week's really, really cool. So next Wednesday, there's basically a private gig for competition winners, and I think there's been maximum like 300 people there. It's a private gig with Rudimental, loads of other like cool DJs, artists, rappers, and it's basically for competition winners. And they come down to London, Shoreditch, have a whole night on like them. And we're all going next week. We're having some fun. I'm going to be working.
We're now.
Yeah.
We didn't even enter the competition. You know what we did? We snaked our way in along the sidelines. We did that thing where someone's already in the club, and then we see somebody in the club that we know that's in the club already, and we're like, Zac, it's us. And he's just like,
tell them
tell us we know him.
But it's going to be awesome. They
Dude, it's so good because I missed a lads' week night out. So we did a Gymshark event, which you guys, you're gonna get a vlog on that soon. And it had some of the sidemen there. It had there's fitness. It had Niall Wilson. I want to say, is that wrong? Man? No, the gymnast. Right. Niall, the gymnast. Everyone knows who he is. I'm terrible with last names. There was tons of people there. It was a really cool time. Chris, shout out to Chris. Now I want to say Nicholson, but I bet that's bloody wrong. And I'm not going to say how it was right. So for context, okay, Chris is it is Chris Nicholson. He's in a wheelchair. Okay. He also thinks it's really funny to play on the fact he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
that's
Around people that are trying to be awkward about him being in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I have no qualms with making jokes about him being in a wheelchair if he wants me to go down that route.
Yeah.
And we did it within 3 minutes of meeting each other because we've been DMing previously prior to meeting each other. And he's always, I'll say something and out of nowhere it'd be something like leg day, and he'll make a joke about, I'm doing biceps again today because no legs. He's just hilarious. He just owns it.
Yeah.
Like shit. So we a big shout out to him because we did some hilarious stuff, and the woman who was trying to run the day with all the Gymshark lads there, and it's obviously like is it Lex? No, it was actually a press type event for them because we've got all the Gymshark coming into social media and pushing all that.
Yeah.
And she just looking at me with the stuff I was doing with him, like I was abusing this guy in a wheelchair, like as if he wasn't involved in it. Like it was me, and I was doing these things to him, and he had no choice because I'd taken his wheelchair away from him.
That is an absolutely brilliant setup.
And it's just so much, and we the funniest part of the day was, and you'll see this in the vlog. We were randomly messing around in an area. She was trying to wait. We were waiting to go and shoot some gas-powered air rifle things. And we went to Bear Grylls Adventure for context. So, guy in a wheelchair, Bear Grylls Adventure. We're trying to get him on stuff he's not allowed on all the way through. We did the skydiving in a wind tunnel thing. Pretty cool. But we requested, as he went in, he wanted his legs to look like Joe from Family Guy. You know, it's flailing. He wanted that on video. Like, that was his goal.
Yeah.
He just said, I want the legs flailing as much as possible. They thought it'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Turns out, when you go in skydiving, your legs just chill. They don't flail around.
All right.
No, he just looked normal. We were both super disappointed. Yeah, I was like, no, you just look like a normal human. There's no flailing, nothing. He's like, oh, man. Yeah.
That's like one of those things, isn't it, when like you hurt yourself, and if you've not got it on camera, you're like, because now I've gone through all of this pain.
Yeah,
but there's
we
no,
can't even laugh at it.
Yeah, there's no gain from it.
Yeah.
And it's British humour. That's British humour
It
through and
is.
through.
It is. And out of context, what we were doing, if you just took snippets of what we were saying and doing, it genuinely looks like abuse. It looks horrendous. But the funniest bit of the day for me was where one of the obstacle courses came out was where we were waiting to go in for the shooting bit. And there was 2 slide poles that you finished the run on. You slid down the poles back to the floor.
Yeah.
Well, Chris started messing around near the pole, and then those people, and I was going, oh no, this will be funny, And took the wheelchair away from him because he was holding himself on the pole. I took the wheelchair and hit it around the corner, and then he sat on the pole at the bottom as other people came to the end of their obstacle course.
Oh, no.
And I was at the bottom going, no, don't do it. He just came down here and he can't feel his legs. And then he's looking up at them going, he's right, I can't feel my legs. And then there's this poor kid and his dad at the top looking at us like, are you for real? And we're like, seriously. And then I went to the kid, seriously, kid, don't do it. Look what happened. And Chris is going, look what happened.
Oh my.
It was fucking hilarious. And then we were filming it and we realised that, we didn't know we were being filmed. We were literally just messing around. But obviously the camera guys got it. So when we noticed that, we just pointed to the camera in a really cheesy way and just went, hey kids, where there's a blame, there's a claim. And then I just held like a really cheesy pose. And as I was holding the pose, Chris is obviously on the floor at this point because he's let go of the pole. Yeah. He then just went, cool. And then just started like, he reverse shuffled out of the shot. Like, so I'm still in the pose, holding the, where there's a blame, there's a claim, pointing my finger at the camera. And he just bum shuffles off the shot. And all I see is that out the corner of my eye, and it fucking floored me. I was on my knees crying and laughing because I was trying to hold this funny pose, and I just saw him go, well, I'm done, and just shuffle off because his wheelchair was about 8 feet away from him. And he was just like, guess I'll go get that then, dickhead. And I just died. The fun, it was so much fun. Yeah. It was so much fun.
Sounds like he's got the best humour though.
Yeah, really good. And dude's just strong as fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
I've seen some of his videos.
Mate, he got on the just smashed out 50 kilos on chest press, like, and he just went, it's all back, shoulders, and chest, no legs. That's literally what he said as soon as he came off it. Because one of the biggest things on chest press is driving with your legs. Yeah. It's just like, and I don't even have that.
Yeah.
Suck it, boys.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play.
But top boy as well. It was admiring to watch, like, his mental fortitude to just go, well, this is it, and I'm gonna fucking still be me. It was savage.
He's gonna ruin it.
Made my day, honestly. Just so fun. Wheelchair is sick as well. Do you know you I had to go in it, obviously.
Yeah.
And when we got there, I was trying to wheelie it, managed it by the end of the day. Yeah. Yeah, balanced wheelie on it. But they run like a tank. You know
what
that?
Do you mean?
You turn them like a tank.
Yeah, no.
Track like one back, one forward. You can't just spin like and you can handbrake them and all sorts. But I whipped myself off it. Trying to wheelie it, I just flipped myself like 4 times. Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a proper balance. But one of my friends when I was in college, he was the exact same. Yeah. But like he'd always let me like play on his chair. But it's proper hard to get used to.
It whips you, man.
Yeah.
I went to like just go thinking it'd be like a loose push, and it was like jink.
Oh really?
Proper. Yeah.
Worst bit I remember once I had like a burn across my palm and my hand because I was like going fast. I was like wanted to turn a corner. I thought best thing to do, straight down this corridor, one hand on the wheel, it'll go. Oh my god, my hand! Like 3 weeks. It was really bad.
But you can't complain about that because you're giving a wheelchair back to a dude who can't walk. Like, oh my hand! Look at how bad my hand is as you pass the wheelchair back to him. It's like,
it's not. When
your hand hurts, does it, dickhead?
It's not when you'd brag about it as well. Just like,
how did you get that
wheelchair burn?
Were you saving a child from a fire, a kitten from a flame?
The worst bit was when I went out to school for first aid. Like, how do you do that? Yeah. Right, so my friend has a wheelchair.
and you know the film Tokyo Drift? I was like...
See, this is what I loved about it. There's none of that namby-pamby freaking nanny nation political correctness nonsense. No, he was full on having fun. The funny, we came up with, there's so many things we said. And sometimes I wouldn't say something and then he'd say it outside and I was like, damn it, dude, I adulted and didn't say that out loud. Just to like be a bit of the bigger person, and then you went and said it anyway, and I could have enjoyed it. Yeah. But we did one. We went shooting, and I asked the woman. Bear in mind, this is the woman who runs the Bear Grylls thing. Yeah. We said before we go in, I said, would it be possible before the guys get here to sign all the waivers, if we could just get one of the guns and then pretend we've accidentally shot him in the leg, and he's now can't feel his legs. Like, we just wanted to do anything where he could just pretend like it had just happened. Yeah. And she was just like, no. What is wrong with you two? I'm like, no.
The naughty
I was like, okay, how about this? We sign the waivers and then we shoot him in the leg when we're doing it, and then he pretends that he can now feel his legs. Yeah. And she was like,
that's a flip.
She looked at us and did that same face you just did, but then went, fucking no.
Still no.
But then she just, a little smirk started coming. And by the end of it, she was like fully, every time we did, she was just trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you're like, it's one of those when someone tells a bad joke and they go, "Ooh," and you can't not laugh.
Yeah.
She was at that mode the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And we just kept trying to push it and push it. It was brilliant.
Class.
So it was class. Yeah, and then we had so we had Simon, all that, and spent the day at Gymshark. What was the point in starting that story?
I don't remember.
Honestly, I have no idea.
I think because you were talking about the rudimental thing that we're going to be going to,
And we sidelined.
and then it somehow went from there. Competition winner, yeah.
Filming, I think that's what it was. I think it was just a simple connection of
Yeah.
I was filming, and that was something cool.
That you'd filmed maybe. I filmed nothing because I don't film stuff. If you were wondering, not that
No,
you
there was a
were.
purpose to that. Many of you listening will know it. We've done this before, though, where we started a topic and didn't
To
even
be
go back to
fair,
it.
we've been really good. We haven't done that. We used to do it. We're so terrible where we'd
Yeah.
like start talking and then something would come up
We
and
could
we'd
have
go
this
off
t-shirt
and
that
then be
says
like,
tangent.
"Fuck, what were we talking about before? We can't remember."
Yeah, and literally, we've never gone back, and it was like a super serious subject, and we'd have ended up talking about bananas.
Oh,
Like,
Okay,
no.
how
so-
do you barbecue your banana? Would be the end subject, and we'd started on something like dealing with, I don't know, hair loss or
Should we go to like
breakups.
how you two actually started talking then?
Can do.
Oh yeah, cool.
Because that's obviously going to tie in
Did we ever do anything with the HP?
I don't think so.
No. No, we don't
HP,
do.
like the sauce.
HP sauce.
Yeah.
No, it
HP
was,
sauce.
It was the first one was Slater's. It would have been 2 years ago, wasn't it? Because of COVID.
Yeah, 2 years or 3.
Oh God, please don't say it's 3.
It could be 3.
That's so far.
It could be 3. I think it is 3.
Where's that gone?
Oh, God knows. Time moves faster. When you
Actually,
get
I think
older.
it is 3.
Yeah. No, it's got to be 3.
It's got to be 3 because my beard was only a baby beard.
Yeah, and I left Social Chain a year and a bit ago, I think, and then
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, so basically, I
customization.
got hired by Social Chain to go and do a Slater's campaign, which is the suit company who I went and redid the work with, and were you directing that one, or you?
Yeah,
You were
I
directing that one as well. So you were already at that stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we met on that, and then it was a good laugh that day.
Because it's about like mental health, right?
And they were like, that guy there in the beard is super professional. Does everything bang on all the time, and he definitely doesn't mess around in between sets. And he 100% hasn't stolen the socks of one of the owners of Slater's because they went better with his suit than his own. Fact, that's what I did. And that's why Johnny rang me personally to come and do that job, you know. At the end of the day, Johnny was like, I like you the best.
Honestly, though, I think that's just human nature. You get so many people on sets which are very wooden
Yeah.
because they're so professional, but actually, the people that are most successful are just human.
Yeah,
And
just
fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
a bit more natural.
They don't see it as a job. It's just it's the charisma, and that's why they're there.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
I just think it's just, if you're invited to go and do something, so many people stick to the boundaries that they're given.
Yeah.
And you get this problem with management companies all the freaking time, man. They get a brief and they read the brief as words and see nothing outside the words, and you have to. I've literally.
I
gone
know
back
who
to
you're
companies-
talking about.
Yeah, fuck me. And I've literally gone back and gone, do you know who we're creating this content for? Because you've read words on a paper and then paid no attention to who it's for, and then they've tried to make me remove things from stuff that is actually exactly on brand.
Yeah.
And I actually had to have that person got removed.
Well,
They just literally read words from a brief, pinpoint, point 1, point 2, point 3, and paid no attention to who it was for or what it was for.
You'd think as well they're going to
So
do their due
dumb.
diligence to actually
Yeah.
look into the brand
No,
and get an understanding of what they're
None.
about and like.
They're
'cause it-
so bad. Honestly, we could, 3 of us, set up a management company and do a better job than some of them.
So the way I see, because I come from the agency side, and that's how I started my career, was
Yeah.
through agencies. And the way I see it is a lot of people that are in social media agencies, because it is brand new still. Like it's much more formed now.
Yeah.
But actually, when people first started, and there was like, who understands social media? And it was people straight out of university, 21, without a job, and being the people with confidence went further forward. But then there was this huge gap in the middle where they needed talent, they needed resource, because all these agencies were growing. It was just anyone that knew how to use social media,
Yeah.
but wasn't necessarily branding or into marketing, or there was a huge middle gap, which was just people that was just landed a job there for 20k a year,
Yeah.
but didn't really care,
Yeah.
didn't really read into brands,
But-
and then are given like 20 accounts to manage. So when you get that brief,
Yeah.
you don't see that they've got 20 accounts to manage.
Yeah.
In their time, they're like doing 20 emails to 20 different brands.
Yeah.
They actually don't have the time
Yeah.
to read into it, so then you're just getting a rough brief, and it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Then I suppose that's down to the company, isn't it? For either like giving
Delegate
too
your
much
work
workload,
easier,
too much workload to individuals. So then this, you'd assume they're going to assign a rough amount of hours dedicated to each contract that they've got.
Yeah.
And there should be a certain amount in there that's going to be for like research. Surely, like they need to know.
Well,
the
no
history
one.
of
Who's
the-
your creator? Who you're creating for? These are basics, though, in my opinion. If you're any good at your job, that's what you're doing, because you're looking. This is them looking at work that the creators sent in, and then them critiquing before sending it to the brand, and they try and remove things that make it personal to the creator, which is the reason they were hired.
Yeah,
that's what's done.
Yeah,
so many people do that.
They've all done it.
Yeah.
And it's I have to argue all the time, and then it gets sent through to the brand. The brand fucking love it because it's more than the brief.
Yeah.
Like their brief was boring. Let's be honest. Most briefs come through, and they're only a framework anyway. And then once you get past the framework, and then you go, okay, so what's the message? Right, I mean that message in, but it's going to be this way, which is way more fun than this monotonous thing that's been done 1,000 times already.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, it's content creation, and
Exactly,
like to create something that there has to be like an element of freedom.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like a brief is a brief, isn't it? It's certain guidelines. They want you to hit criteria, but you've still got to be fucking creative to like.
It's got to stand out.
Yeah, because otherwise, why are they using you? They could just get an actor in to just do some wooden thing that they you know follow the script.
But the worst thing as well, I think, is every human creative is subjective.
Yes.
So you might make a video. I hate it. You love it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm right, and it doesn't mean you're right.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather have a video that you hate and he loves, though, than a video that both of you are like, meh.
Yeah. 100%.
Because at least that's the way you've got to go. You're better because you're still going to get the interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as well, though, you're never going to. This applies to all things, not just creative content. But like, you can't please everybody. No. There's always going to be someone who gets annoyed by it. And normally, if you make something that really annoys somebody, there'll be other people that are just completely fanatical about it. So yeah, you definitely are better just like picking a direction and fucking running with it.
I did a campaign once for William Hill, and it was for.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it always is, especially when the brief is we want to make like a viral video. We want to have the most viewed video at the Super Bowl weekend.
Right.
So does every other brand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
Without swearing, like every effing brand wants that like title. It's the most. It's one of the events in the world that actually has the most paid advertisements around.
Yeah.
But they do have good access to talent because they're a betting brand, sporting brand. So I had the opportunity to go shoot at Chelsea when Hazard, I'm not massively into football, but Hazard was there. Obviously, he's a huge football player.
As in a big, tall, massive dude. Or as in just really well known.
We don't know football either.
Yeah. I am not
a massive football player. 6'7".
Yeah.
He's 22
weighing
stone.
in at 500 pounds. The Big Show.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That's hilarious.
Fun fact: Big Show in real life, not as big as you think he's going to be.
He's actually Hazard's really small.
Oh.
The nickname's a joke. It's all camera tricks. No, he's big.
It's just the show.
You know, in your head, you've got him as being like a gargantuan.
Yeah.
Yeah, not so much.
Oh, really?
I mean, he's big. Don't get me wrong, but you know, just like you go, yeah, but.
I thought you'd be bigger.
Yeah. He always he's probably a bit more.
But without going on a tangent. Tangent without tangenting. Basically, we had access to him like 4 or 5 months before the Super Bowl. I was like, we've got access to this talent.
This is a big football player.
Yeah, he's a huge football player. Like he's one of like the most known. I think he was the face of FIFA at one point.
Kick your ball really well.
Yeah.
Does he fall over really well as well?
Probably.
Yeah,
but what we decided to do was, instead of obviously him using football, which is quite obvious, or make a really super commercial looking video, which again is quite obvious. Yeah. We took a cinema camera but de-rigged it, so it's completely unstabilized, and it didn't even have a handle on it. It just felt very rough and shaky, and had him doing kick-ups. Like there was him and 4 of his football mates. It looked like it was filmed after training, doing kick-ups with an NFL football. And his mates maybe got 4 or 5 or 6, right? So one of them got 2, and they're like joking, but it feels very raw and real. Yeah. And then Hazard crops up, does like a kick flip. It's over his head. He's balancing it on his head, shoulder, knee. He's like, oh my god, what's he doing with this NFL? How is he doing so many cool kick ups for this NFL football? And then boots it from a halfway line. Hits the crossbar challenge. But it wasn't a real NFL football. It was a sized 5, much smaller footballs. And we put the CGI on it, and I think, if I remember rightly, when it first came through, it looked too good. Yeah. It was like, that looks too real.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So then what we did was make it a little bit shitter. Yeah. So then when we went backwards, people was like questioning if it was real online. So going back to that part where we'd prefer someone to love it and someone to hate it, we released it, and people was like, oh my god, Hazard's the best player in the world.
Yeah.
People's like, nah, this is fake.
Yeah.
And then the traction blew up.
Yeah.
It was the most viewed video on social.
Nice.
Like at the Super Bowl, it like all the newspapers picked it up. It was on American news. NFL football stars was tweeting him saying, "Come join our team." Yeah. So what you're saying there in terms of that right or wrong?
Yeah.
People.
See, that's because you didn't do it down the straight, narrow commercial way.
Yeah, like
high end super cinema photography. That's something we all switch off after 10 seconds.
It's just like that little bit of doubt that's going to be in someone's.
Yeah.
Because again, there's going to be some people that just wouldn't like him as a footballer.
Yeah.
So then they don't want to believe that he's that good.
Yeah.
So they'll be looking and like, oh, I swear that's fake. And that's the kind of stuff that just triggers conversations and, well, in the comment sections, fucking arguments.
Exactly.
I thought of a really good saying today. You know, I don't know why, but I heard a thing the other week. You know, when people, just miserable people in the world that just hate. It's what they do. They're online, the trolls, all that stuff, and it's just such a waste of fucking energy. Hating. Like I heard someone say, I think it might be Joe Rogan. I said I've listened to a lot of podcasts this week. I've tried to not put the TV on and have just audible stuff going on, and it was just that people who hate are just it's so mind-boggling to people who don't do it, because I just see it as like, how do you have that much energy to waste hating stuff that you have no effect on?
Yeah.
And then I had the thing today, hating on somebody online is like spitting at the sky.
Yeah. I agree with that.
The only thing that's going to happen is that spit's going to come back in your own face.
Yeah.
Like, that hate is going nowhere other than bullets spinning around in you.
Yeah.
You can throw whatever you want, and you are affecting nothing but yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hating online, spitting at the sky. I thought that today in the gym, and I was like, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that, because it's one of those things I've never really done it, but I never really understand it. But I actually think the only reason hate happens so much online, it's a growing thing, no accountability.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
100%.
Yeah. The moment, well, look how Twitter dropped off a little bit when people started getting arrested.
Yeah.
For threatening online.
Yeah.
Like, it got taken seriously.
Well, they said about potentially needing an ID for Instagram accounts and stuff like that.
I think
That makes sense, yeah. Then you can't like have 10 accounts just that trolls blank things that are just
They
spamming.
need to do it because like fake accounts are fucking all over the place, and it's just
get rid of the bot accounts
Yeah,
as well.
'cause
And start making
it
allow it
hurts.
to be organic again.
yeah, because it hurts like the algorithm realistically,
does.
and it just allows people to talk shit with no accountability and just cause problems for people. So
Yeah, and also those bot accounts fuck up accounts, because if somebody sends a load of bots to follow your account, and then they think you're paying for that shit.
Yeah.
A few of us had that, like, got some warnings from Instagram, and it was like some company just blasted bots at all our accounts.
yeah, we've had that
Really?
on
Yeah,
the BTV
yeah.
page recently. We've been getting like it randomly, like we'll have a few days and we get a shitload of bots. Like, but
Yeah, and
we
they
can't
do.
figure out why it started happening.
I think so. Some bots, they use them for if you're paying for advertising to use all your clicks up.
Yeah,
Or
because
your click-throughs, that's a big one.
Right.
we did boost some stuff because we were doing a giveaway with Wolverson.
So yeah,
Battery.
3, 2, 1. Fantastic! Wow, that clap was loud.
That was
That was a good.
that was
clap.
a very good
That
clap.
was a that was a man clap.
Yeah.
If ever there was one.
He's got the technique where you cup your hand
I do,
slightly.
yeah. It's like it's a finger. It's a finger and palm job.
I remember when we were at school, like me and my friend used to practice making extra loud claps. So you know when like something would go on and like then everyone would have to be there and no one really wants to clap, so everyone's there just like, and then me and him would just go, and then we'd be like doing it, and you know as they taper off, and we'd still be there going,
Just trying to get told off for the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah, like,
why are you
what?
in detention? We clapped
yeah,
too
it
loud.
was like when everyone else clapped, we clapped, but we clapped louder, so we got in trouble.
And we couldn't hear because the claps were that loud.
It looked ridiculous on paper, wasn't it? Yeah, detained for clapping.
Yeah, it was literally just like, what
Inappropriate
can I
clapping.
do that's going to really annoy the teachers, but they can't really tell me off for it?
Did you ever have the clap that just keeps on going? So it's like the clap's finished, but then it's like and then someone else on the left-hand side just goes.
One. Yeah. I used to do the whistle, because I can make a whistle noise without really looking like I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So I can sit here and just like this. Hang on, I think my mouth's a bit dry. I can't bloody do it.
Oh no!
I haven't done it for years. I've
It's a
lost the
skill
ability.
that you've lost.
Do you know I have fixed my teeth? Maybe that's different. Anyway, imagine I'm doing this noise as a whistle, and I would just be able to sit there going.
I know he can
It's
tell.
slowly coming. You can hear, and I'd just be able to sit there, and the teacher would be like looking around the room as if there was something wrong with the pipes or something going on.
There's a breeze out, like it's windy outside. Can you hear that whistling?
I never let on to anyone other than like one of my friends. So nobody else in class even knew that it was me. So it was just my
Is this a big reveal?
This is a big reveal.
Oh,
For all
it
those
was
years,
Lex.
there was no kettle. It was Lex.
Yeah.
Can you do the water
There's
droplet?
like all of your classmates have had years going to like what's it called when you get your hearing? They think that the hearing was fucked. So
Hearing test for years.
Yeah.
Can you do the water droplet noise?
Oh,
that.
the under the tin.
It's
thing.
like I don't. It's like
Oh no, I can't do that.
yeah.
There's this
That
one.
was
Hang on.
fucking really good. That one.
There's the one where you can just
Yeah,
like
I've seen
boing.
that one.
You can do it. It's like
What the frick? Do a dolphin.
I can't do a dolphin. You can do the bird though. You can do. Have you seen a bird?
I can't do this.
Hang on, 1 minute.
As if you nailed it, like just like that. I've never been able to do that.
It's more of this.
I think my hands are too muscular.
Again, I think it's just
Mine.
all right, all
Sorry,
right.
excuse me.
Mine are too
it is.
chubby.
You're too fat and I'm too
And
muscular.
you can do the Wild West, I think. Hang on. Oh, I might be on.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, go on, get that. Yes. So close.
I'm close. I
I
think.
feel you need more moisture in your hands.
Yeah.
I feel like they're too sweaty.
You
if
need-
Oh,
anything.
too sweaty.
Need more
Bit too
moisture in our
sweaty.
faces, boys.
Right.
Oh.
Are
Yes.
you ready?
Oh.
Here comes the noise.
Oh.
It's actually quite appropriate because that is a little bit Japanese
Yeah.
sounding. Because today
There you go, mate. You go.
we have the Nika whiskey. I like the fact that Nika in our language is a little bit cheeky, like knickers.
I think it's Nika. It's what you pronounce.
No, I'm saying it this way.
Okay.
Nika.
You can do that.
Knickers. Knickers.
Get your knickers out.
Knickers whiskey.
Do Americans know what knickers are?
Well, I don't know.
Do they call them?
They have briefs for men.
Pants.
What
Panty.
do
My
women-
panties.
What panties? Yeah,
Panties.
they have
Panties.
panties. So for us, Nika whiskey would be like panties whiskey for you.
So hold on then. So, but in the UK, pants can be your underwear,
be
but
all trousers.
But in America,
It's just trousers.
pants are just trousers,
Yeah.
but panties are underwear
Oh my
For
god.
women only.
for women only.
Yeah, not
see
men.
now.
Men
See
can't
that's
wear, men can wear panties, but they're frowned upon by society.
not today. They're not.
So this is our first one of the first Japanese whiskey. This is Nika whiskey or Nika whiskey from the barrel, and it's a 51.4%.
Oh.
It's a kicker. And then on the back it says Haishanmai Donghonmai Fantai Haito 500ml.
Well,
It literally is Chinese on the back or Japanese, whatever that is.
that's Japanese. It's
Japanese,
Yeah.
because it's of course it. But you don't know. Chinese make everything. Maybe they make the Japanese.
Well,
Maybe the Chinese made the Japanese.
Well, according to the guy in the shop who said, "Don't be fooled. It's all distilled in Scotland. Then it's
Shipped
sent over to Japan. They do their things with it, and
it
then
comes
like
back. So the
yeah,
base is Scottish.
Really?
yeah,
Yeah, the base
it's
is
the same
Scottish.
on most. They're like the bases are a lot of the time they're all made in very similar
Most
places.
people just start because why would you fuck with a traditional base that's been fantastic for many
Yeah.
millennia?
But then they might put that in certain like Japanese barrels with
Yeah.
whatever wood and other things,
They add
and
their
then
own
it'll
spices
be
and little bits and
aged.
bobs.
Think of the fuel on that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
carbon
Actually-
footprint's not good for this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is not a carbon-friendly product.
It's a very cool looking product though.
Well, let's open it up. Oh yeah, so actually this one's in a box. Unusually, we don't usually have them in boxes, do we?
No, there's not. We
It
haven't
look-
had.
to be honest, that looks like an aftershave box.
It
Yeah.
does
And it's,
look
it
like
is
that.
quite
only
500
a-
mil is small.
Yeah,
It was not cheap
That would last
for
you
500
long
mil.
as
I've just
aftershave.
realised.
that was like 40.
I've just realised I spent £44 or £42 on 500 mil. Didn't even think that through. Just looked at it and got obsessed with that bottle. Look at it.
It is very
clean.
It's really short and stumpy neck on it with a really kind of rounded square, just a little lipped top bottle. And it looked quite
Rounded square does not make
Well,
sense
so
to
if you-
people
if you
who are
think-
just
if you think
listening
of
to
like
this.
a square shaped bottle, well, rectangular shaped bottle, but it's got rounded edges, but they're very, very,
it's-
very softly rounded edges,
Yeah.
so they're not sharp. They fold in quite nicely, and it's just quite medicinal looking. I always like that.
Yeah, and it's like a nice off-white kind of like it's a very light grey label, textured, really
Yeah, it
like
is.
simple.
With Japanese writing on it, which I won't do the racist voice for again, just in case Karen gets too angry and dies from some kind of stroke.
I
and
describe it as a graphic designer's wet dream.
Mm.
You reckon?
Yeah,
They're
'cause
gonna really just over that.
I think they would.
It is. It's really sharp, very professional, very Japanese.
It
Like,
is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is pretty in its clean way.
Yeah, very,
Very
clean,
clean.
simplistic.
Very clean and simple. It says on the back.
It looks expensive.
It does.
Like,
yeah, that's
like-
true. It does.
If somebody told me that was like £100,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd,
It's weird enough to be £100.
yeah.
You know what I find weird?
What?
Like, actually, to get something to look simple but expensive is hard.
Yes,
Yeah.
because there's simple that looks cheap,
Yeah.
and most of the time simple looks cheap. But I think it's like having detail in other aspects. So having a really crisp font and having, like I said, the fact that the label's textured, it's not just
It's American Psycho textured.
yes, yeah, like that's the scene with Patrick Bateman when they're getting all their cards out. And they're just like, this is Sicilian rail. And
Yeah.
talking about the font.
The subtle off greyness.
Subtle
with
off-white
that
colouring.
mocha lettering.
Let's see Paul Allen's
Was
card.
divine. Let's see Paul Allen's card.
This is
Then
a
I'm
good
gonna
voiceover.
Murder you all. I love that movie. Do you know the movie makes way more sense if you read the book first?
I don't like the book.
Oh, I read the book too much and was on a train, and a woman with a screamy voice or like something, she was doing something and she had a bit of an underbite. And I remember I'd been reading the book for a few days, and I was like, shut up, I'm going to tear that jaw off, feed it. And I went, oh, you've read the book for too long, let's put that down for a little bit and read some Garfield. Yeah, went in deep. But you got to put Christian Bale, he got in shape for that movie. They didn't ask him to do that.
Really? It's because he knew that's what the character
He
needed.
thought that's what the character would have looked like, and that's what. So he went ham and got the best shape he's ever been in that.
Oh yeah, 100%. But like again, Christian Bale was 100% right on that, because Patrick Bateman was somebody who was completely obsessed with the aesthetics, and like everything was just a superficial veneer, making sure he had the nicest car and card, everything else. What? Twisty top?
No cheeky pop test.
I'll get it. Okay.
Well, no, it'd have to be like this. Oh god, no.
Hold on, we can get a water droplet.
Oh no, pop it, and then we water droplet.
Yeah, there we go.
But it's just a screw top, so that's all you're getting today. There's no cheeky pop, I'm afraid. Let's have a. Well, no, he said it. Now in the shop of wonder, he said it was more like the Irish whiskey,
it's
so it's
close.
more towards that honey side. But to me, that smells quite bourbony. It's got a little bit of smoke behind it. You just see what you think.
Let's have a sniff.
Because I think I know better than the man that owns an entire shop of whiskies and has been doing it for many, many years.
I see
There
that
definitely
shop
is
today.
a little
I'm
sense.
not wrong though, am I?
Yeah. He wasn't the owner, by the way. He just works there.
Oh, so then I'm definitely no more than him.
Ooh.
He's clearly a plumber.
Depends how long he's worked there, though.
Yeah, let's just assume I'm right. Make me feel good about life.
There is
Also,
like
if you're on YouTube,
hundreds of whiskies there, so
dude, it was so
like
cool.
just hundreds. Well, there's probably thousands when you took all the rums,
What do you
whiskies.
think?
There's definitely a bit of bourbon kind of
Yeah,
smoke
it's a
in
bit
it.
of
It's
a
not
burb,
like
yeah.
The sweet smoky.
Yeah.
And that's a bourbon thing.
Yeah.
When you go Irish, that's honey
Yeah.
and then no smokiness whatsoever. Like Irish whiskies don't have smoke to me.
Yeah.
They're just,
they're really like
I think
crisp.
I'm going to like this a lot. A lot.
Well,
Okay.
you fucked up if you do, because it's an expensive one
I
to
know,
get.
I know.
It's
But
smaller,
also-
though. It's
Where's
smaller.
your... oh, it's there. Good.
It's here.
If you're on the U of Tube, you'll have also seen that we have, adorning our glasses, we have some very special cigars here. So we have 2 Churchill cigars, and do we know... Now, you've actually got a special cigar, so we'll go to that. These have been supplied by Davidoff UK, which are specialist cigar suppliers, retailers. What would you call them? They make not retailers, so they make the
Yeah, they're
these
literally
are
like a
their
world
cigars.
It's I didn't know this, but it's Davidoff as in the same brand that does like the aftershave as well. But it's like kind of they do multiple things, not just that.
Yeah.
So it's like a worldwide company, aren't they? And
So we have, I think, around about 60 or 70 quid's worth of cigar here right now.
yeah, we had
More.
We had a really interesting day, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We smoked about £100 worth of cigars. We've worked out.
We learnt a lot, though.
Oh god,
did.
yeah. So
So go on, you introduce
Anthony, he listens to the CREWCast. He'll be
Thanks,
listening
Anthony.
to this one.
We had
Thank you very much, mate.
Awesome day.
Yeah, we really, really enjoyed it, and thank you for your time.
Mum,
And-
Anthony's the reason I'm going to get my tattoo in an ear. So
Oh yeah, he's got some sick tattoos.
So
as well.
blame him,
Yeah,
please.
really cool.
But
I want those ones on the inside he had on his fingers. I really like those.
what? So I saw one said
They're
hard.
work.
Ah, that's very cool.
Oh, damn it, I could have said something funny then. I told you the
Hard
truth.
penis.
Yeah. Hard shaft.
Good place to have hard work, though, because that's what...
Because it is.
That's what
Yeah.
you do
And
it.
even if it got kind of grubbed up, You're like, yeah, it's fucking hard work.
Yeah. No, that is sick. Actually, I really like that.
But he said he's had it done 4 times. So
Yeah.
basically, if you don't know, he had a letter on each of the insides of his fingers at the base of each finger. Hard and work, obviously, on different hands. And he's had to have them done 4 times over.
Yeah.
Because they're on the inside. On the these on the top of my fingers have not budged. They've been put. I've not even had them redone.
Yeah.
They would a one hit got job, and they could do with just one more run now to tighten them up totally. But they've not budged.
Did the finger ones hurt?
No, not even a little bit. Unless you were getting like shading done, I guess.
Yeah.
But that line work one's nothing. Super easy. That tattoo there on my forearm, which was basically all line work. I was having that done, and I was looking at it like, is that it? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
That's not a fucking. What are you on about? That doesn't. No wonder motherfuckers have these all over them. They're doddle.
Yeah.
That motherfucker. That had me biting stuff. Like that had me bleeding out. This all day to cover me in it. No bother.
Yeah.
Little scribbly stuff.
Just scribbly stuff. Yeah. Motherfuckers.
Anyway.
You don't earn those tattoos.
Anyway,
Go get
so
a sleeve.
Anthony, listens to the CREWCast, and he saw that we had some cigars, like, we started a few weeks back, and then I think he wanted to just educate us more about it, because
I think he got mad that we were smoking shit.
No, when he said he didn't get mad, it was just like there's so much scope to it. It's the same as like you can appreciate a nice basic whiskey, but then also there's
We were the equivalent of the lap down pullers who pull it to the waistline
Oh.
in the gym. That was what we were. And
Yeah.
he was just like, there's a better way you can be doing this.
But he was so passionate about it, wasn't he? Like,
Dude, so excited.
very, very knowledgeable. Like, we did not know how deep the rabbit hole goes, and I feel like we still only like
Oh, we are
See,
surface
we're
level.
not, we're not even in the farm.
he skimmed
dude.
the surface of it. But yeah, so he provided us with some really nice cigars. These are 2
And I'm his favourite, so he
Winston
provided me
Churchill
with a cutter as
cigars.
well.
And then what was this
I
one
got a
called
cutter
again?
too.
I can't remember what yours was called now. So because
Lewis and I have the Churchill ones, and then Zach has what we've already smoked once today, but this is a factory, straight from the factory cigar. This doesn't even go to retail.
Yeah.
This is just
That was
one he got to show the flavour of the tobaccos that they use and how good they are. Like, so that's
This is like
not
off
even,
record.
you can't buy that cigar.
yeah.
I'm having it here
Priceless.
today.
Yeah.
And then once it's gone, it's gone. It's like one of those moments.
That's it, yeah, once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
So we need to keep these alight. So we do have the butane burner here. Now, I do have a refill as well, in case because they do take a bit of cooking
Yeah,
these.
because they're hefty boys.
So we have to cut them though. This is the first time we have to circumcise the cigars.
We've been smoking.
I mean, I don't understand, right? Why there need to be doctors for doing the circumcisions at little Jewish fairs when there's these things available.
They scare me, you know.
Just this little. Yeah, there you go. Job done. Off you go. Go get your bar mitzvah money. Off you go. Next. Chink. Next. You get like 10 done in it. No bother.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Speed.
off. Next one.
Speed circumcision. Just line them all up. Right, shall we chop? We'll chop yours because that one we
cheat
know
as well.
we know how to do that.
So if you don't know how to chop a cigar, and we got this. You get a good cutter for starters. There's a prime one, wasn't it? We learned that some of them are dog meat. But you put the nub on the table,
Yeah, well you need,
don't you?
You need to
Through
cut that.
the old cutter.
Yeah,
So if you can see that.
it's so you
And
don't.
then you just nip it
overcut.
from there. Yeah, because if you overcut them, it'll unravel.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And then you end up chasing the cigar. So there you go. Clink. Oh, there you go. Look at that. It's not bad.
That's good, that.
It's clean.
That's
But
good,
ours,
yeah.
our Churchill ones, they're like a little cone at the end. If you can see that.
Oh, like the movie Coneheads with Dan Aykroyd.
Yes. So ours, we can't do the cheat cut.
No, we
But
have
he
to do
he
this.
sent me a video of where to cut it.
Did he?
Yeah, and it's basically so from if that's where it stops tapering to the tip, we want to be like about halfway.
halfway up the tip.
Yeah.
So it's like a Jewish circumcision. Just back to that again. Come on, people. There's a niche market here. So about there.
I think so.
Like here.
Halfway.
Basically halfway from where it starts tapering to the tip.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so about there. Are we cutting it now? Or are we committing?
Yeah, go.
I think you've got to
Go.
cut it now.
Okay.
Whoa,
Done it.
that, I thought it
Ooh,
was fine
yeah,
on my
that's
face.
clean.
Yeah, perfect.
Do you want that one in case I fuck this thing up?
No, I want to have a go.
Oh, you're going to do
Oh,
it?
I wanna
Set
have a
me
go.
up to the mark.
I'm scared, but I want to
Dun,
do it.
dun, dun, dun.
Oh God. Right.
Clip it, clip it,
Clip it, clip it, Clip it. Hey.
Oh, there's a bit of a fumble.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's because I didn't expect it to lock.
Oh yeah, it locks. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's still there. It's just like a bit of a triangle, a bit of an angle.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I wanted mine on an angle anyway.
Edgy.
Yeah,
exactly.
He told me when you weren't paying attention, if you cut it on a little bit of an angle, it smacks better.
Right. Okay.
Then what we're gonna do then, because these butane burners obviously fire out straight, you then toast it, like pointing the flame directly at a flat angle towards the front of the cigar, and you toast it up until you get a nice little crispy edge around the entire.
Yeah, you said you don't want to burn the sides actively. You just want to kind of
keep
toast
it in the middle and let that heat dissipate outwards.
End on.
Yeah, but you still have to circulate the flame around. You just fire it into the middle.
It's position, isn't it?
It's
like
mad.
When we were like having to so after you've done that, sometimes you need to have a little suck on it and then get your lighter on the end. I don't even know what you call it.
You have to get the flame close to the cigar, but not touching it. And the idea was when you pull through, it draws the flame towards the cigar.
And that's when you'll see it in films when people are doing it, and then a big flames coming off the end of the cigar. But the actual depth perception required to do that was hard to judge.
Yeah, I missed by miles.
Yeah,
I was just sucking on the cigar and lighting the air.
Yeah, all of a sudden you were like closer.
Both of you were like, no, bring it in. It was like trying to park a car.
To me,
a little bit further, to me, left, to you. We totally took all the coolness out of it, and then even when we did hit it, we were still like, yeah,
okay. Right, should we pour and then light?
So, yes, I think we have to be discerning. Oh, do we need ice? I don't think we're going to need ice for this.
We'll give it a try with that.
So, it's a bit of a hard one to pour.
Ooh.
Big belly sticking out.
You got to
dribble.
We need to find out if it's a glug.
If every dribble on, we're like 20p, 20p, 20p.
Get in front of the mic so they can hear if it's a glug or not.
I think you got to send that.
A glug or a pourer?
I think it's a glug.
I think it's a glug.
You
going glug?
Yeah, glug for sure.
Whoa! That was a glugger.
That's a glugger.
It's a dribbler as well.
It's a glugger and a dribbler.
Okay. There you go, sir.
Oh, no. That was actually quite well done. I'm a bit nervous now.
You got to send. You do have to send it.
You do have to send it. Right. I think corner.
Oh God! You nearly oversent that.
I did almost oversend it.
That's a home pour.
Yeah.
That is a good home pour.
Yeah.
I actually measured my home pours the other day.
Did you?
And of what I was like, yeah, it's probably like it's near enough a shot, maybe shot and a half.
Yeah.
Nope, triples. Dude, we our home pours have got aggressive.
Well,
I got used to the home pours though. So when I went to the pub and asked for a double, I genuinely questioned the bartender.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was like, I asked for a double. They were like, it is. I was like, no.
That's lockdown for you, that.
Yeah. I was like,
when you get through a bottle in 4 to 6 glasses. Glasses between us.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
that's pretty. Yeah. They're hefty. That.
Yeah. You get bad with the rum though. If you get flavoured rum, you pour it like it's pineapple juice.
Yeah. Well, you got it, haven't you?
Yeah.
You only live once.
And then he just looks at me all the way through, going like, looking at my glass, looking at my face, looking at my glass.
Come on,
He's like,
Lex.
more in there, more in there, more in there. I'm like, dude, you put like half a pineapple amount in yours. He's like,
Yusuf,
that bamboo did not last more than an evening.
No,
whole
Yusuf
bottle
was the best. When
Oh yeah, so
What's that?
Yusuf was our original guest. So Yusuf's the guy I do the street fight videos with.
Yeah.
And he came on and he poured it and it was a strong one. We were on, weren't we? It was a strong rum. It wasn't like it was a sweet one, but it was strong as shit. What was it?
That sounds like a dangerous rum.
Yeah, it was delicious but strong. And he poured it, and both Lou and I looked at each other, and we were like, "You just made a mistake."
Yeah, it was a hefty pour, and then we were still halfway through ours, and we looked over, and his was gone, and we're like,
You're hitting that. And he was
yeah.
like, yeah, it was tasty.
It was like, yeah, what do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it was tasty. And he was like, well, in half an hour, you're going to find out why that was an error. Yeah. And then literally, by the end of the night, I've got a picture of him. He fell asleep, face down in the living room
on the floor.
Mid-conversation. He didn't finish. He started a sentence, then we realised he was no longer speaking. He'd fallen asleep mid-sentence. Like, it was hilarious.
Just for one pour as well?
No.
No, we did a few. Obviously, we carried on afterwards as well.
Yeah.
But he drank it. He basically hit 6 shots in a go in like 20 minutes.
It's never good, that, is it?
No.
Because you think you're okay.
I don't think he drinks a lot, though, does he, really?
No,
I
not particularly.
don't think he's a drinker.
He likes his edibles.
Yeah.
He's tolerant with his edibles because he brings over fun brownies and stuff.
Yeah.
And he could say, so what's in one of these little squares? And he sort of says, he goes, No.
Don't know.
And then I was like, well, what's in it? Well, I'll break it down then. What's in the whole thing? Don't know. I was like, what do you mean you don't know? And it's him and his mate take turns just baking for each other.
That's
So
hilarious.
there's no idea what's like in each other's ones, and they don't tell each other. And he brought all these, and he'd cubed it all up this time, whereas last time he just brought it in slabs. And I was like, well, at least you've cubed it. So how many do you think I've had? He goes, 4. I'm gonna have 4. You have 4. And I went, okay, cool. So 2 then.
Yeah.
And I had 2, and it hit me about we were watching Talladega Nights.
Fucking hell.
But my brain started watching Talladega Nights like a documentary, a serious documentary. It switched it. And then every so often something funny would happen, and my brain would go, oh, yeah, it's a comedy. Ha, 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 ha. And then something bad would happen, and go, oh, no, racing's dangerous. Like, I was proper shifting. Yeah. And then about another hour later, I realised that I was sat at an angle from the TV, and I was anchored. I couldn't move. And everyone was like, why are you facing away from us, Lex? And I was like, this is just how I sit now. This is how I sit. And time was skipping.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could get that on weed because I've never really done
had
it.
that.
Yeah,
I've only ever had like a few totes.
Yeah.
You know, and then like, oh yeah, it's nice. I was like planted, and then I would miss bits of time, and that's the thing, is it?
Yeah. I get that fairly often, depending on
Is
what
it not
I've smoked.
unnerving? Or do you just be like, oh yeah, this happens?
Basically, it's only unnerving if you're trying to do something. Like,
Yeah.
but
Like
Wait,
talk to
if
other
I-
people,
yeah.
like talk to 4 other people in the room, and you just like imagine.
Yeah, quite possibly.
I was like
Yeah.
this.
yeah, because then you'll be like, oh, yeah, because then you'll start.
And you just talking to him like that. And I'd be going in my head, turn your head to talk to him, and my body would go, nope, you are comfy where you are. You are not moving.
Yeah, so if you got shit to do, so basically, if you were gonna smoke, I always just say like
Get your shit done.
get everything done that needs to be done, and then just relax. So you got food ready, you got drinks ready, and you just gotta sit there, watch TV or whatever you're gonna do, and then go to bed afterwards.
I was more perplexed by it. I wasn't like anxious or anything. I was just perplexed because I was sat there going like, time skip, and I was like, did that just? Oh, that happens on this.
See, I've only ever been like mellow or giggly.
Yeah, that's all I'd ever been before. Because it'd been
Yeah.
like, a little pass around thing.
Yeah.
I'd never really done joints, so I don't like the nicotine and cigarettes. So it was always like the only the one time I have done it actually. Oh, and there was time travel in that too. Yeah, it was my mate decided. That's just quite a funny story. He brought back some purpley haze stuff or something from Amsterdam, and he brought it back and he didn't even smoke. He just like, I don't even. And we randomly got onto the subject, and he was like, oh yeah, I brought back some from Amsterdam. It's in that box over there. I don't even know why I bought it. I don't even smoke it. I was like, you got weed in that box over there? He was like, he looked at me and went, yeah, why? I was like, you want to do the weed? 'Cause we were like, I want to say, it was in between coming back from uni and stuff, so like catching up, and I'd never really done it. And he was a best friend, so I was like super trusted him.
Yeah.
Silly move. But so he was like, because at the time as well, I was super conscious of my diet and everything. I was a bit, not bro, but I was super strict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, so you, Lex, want to do weed? I was like, yeah. He went, oh hell yeah, and he ran straight off to go and get a bucket and a bottle.
Yeah.
I was like, a bucket and a bottle? He's like, yeah, so it's a
Bong.
it's a makeshift bong at home.
Yeah.
But they call it there's a name for it, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't know. I know what you're on about there.
Yeah, so you cut the bottom off the bottle, you put tinfoil on the top, light it, and then you draw. The bottle's pushed down, then you pull the bottle out the water, and it draws the smoke
Yeah,
in.
it's
And
just
then
a water. Is it
It's a water bong,
Water bong.
essentially, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there's a word for it.
Yeah.
And then you put anyway. So you put the weed on it, draw the smoke in. He goes, right, so we can do this. He did it. Boom, took it. And it's like just like that. I was
That's
like,
heavy
I was
for
like,
a...
wait, yeah, well, no. I was like, no for weed. I was like, so that you just the smoke in there and there's boom, just like that. And he was like, yeah, just like I did it. I was like, okay, no problem. Good lungs on me. I thought, yeah, bit of smoke in there. I'll have a go at that. Full bottle. He lights it and he goes, go, shoom, whole thing down. Immediately once I've done it, he just goes,
Oh no.
I was like, what? And he started laughing. He goes, you've just done an entire bottle and it's your first time. And it's like literally his voice goes like that. And I was like, why is that a lot? And he goes, I'm baked and I've done this loads. And he says, his voice just starts going, you're going to be so high. And his voice just went off. And I was like, no. And basically what I'd done is about a joint in a single go.
Yeah.
A whole
In,
joint
like,
in a
3
single
seconds.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, boom.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, what's going to happen? And then we've been watching Demolition Man, which is just a thing that we do every time we meet up. We watch Demolition Man. We must have seen it over 100 times.
I love
It's
that
just
film.
amazing movie. We used to watch it on Sundays when we were in high school. High school together, and we just put it on repeat. If it was a rainy Sunday, we'd just repeat watch it and get cups of tea and toast and just watch the Demolition Man on Sunday. It was a great day.
Nice.
Brilliant day.
And so we, on Sky, when you pause it, when you watch a movie, you get a little timer coming up for how long you've had it paused, don't you? So we'd done it, and we
I don't know if that's
paused.
still a thing.
Yeah, it did it.
I remember
think it
that.
does still.
Was it only for like an
On
hour?
Sky
though?
Plus stuff, when you
Did it only pause it for like an hour?
so there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you pause, we did. We obviously we were getting higher and higher when we were talking about stuff, and we paused it. And at one point, he runs off he's like, "Are you cold in here? I'm cold. Are you cold?" I was like, "No, I'm alright. I'm cold." And then he ran off, got a jacket, and came back. And I didn't realize he'd been gone. Then I looked at him and went, "Why are you wearing a jacket?" He went, "Oh, it's cold in here. I think one of the doors is open. I'm going to go check if they're all locked." So he ran off to go and check if the doors and windows were locked. And then I, at the same time, was trying to change a SIM card in the phone, and I can't remember quite why I was doing this.
Yeah.
But he's going off checking every single door, latch, window in the house wearing a puffer jacket. And he comes back downstairs. I'm still trying to change a SIM card from one phone to another. Then he sits down and I go, "Why are you wearing a jacket?" He went, "I don't know. It was cold. I think one of the doors is unlocked. I'm going to go check." This happened 4 or 5 times. It's been 40 odd minutes. I still haven't changed the SIM card. He finally sits down, starts laughing at me because he's realised how long he's been away and I still haven't done the SIM card. We get the SIM card changed. And you remember some SIM cards used to hold old messages on them?
Yeah.
Weird thing. That doesn't happen anymore, does it?
No.
You used to have your
You
phone
can
numbers
choose-
and text
Well,
messages
you used to
on
be
it.
able to choose whether they saved on the SIM card.
Yeah. Well, it saved old messages on it. So I then loaded it into the phone and it was bringing up old messages into the phone, which I was reading as if there were now new messages that I was reading for the first time, knowing that they weren't new messages, but reading them as if they were. So I was time traveling. Because when I was reading the message, I was in that time reading the message about the person and going to reply to them. Then I pulled it out and John would appear in his puffer jacket and I'd be back in that date and then go back into the phone. And this went on for some time.
Yeah.
And then after, bearing in mind, right, so there, he then sits down, he goes, and he starts laughing again. He's like, "What?" And he goes, "Dude, do you know how long we've been high for?" I was like, "No." And he goes, "Look at the TV." And it had paused. But we didn't realise when you pause it on a pre-recorded thing, it just pauses it at the time you paused it, which was like 58 minutes in.
Yeah.
And it'd been... So he looked at him and was like, "It's only been 50 minutes." So like, no. As we both are contemplating this 50-minute timeline that had clearly been 3 hours, 1 foot to the right of us on the fireplace is a giant clock. Is that our timer for things? So I just pause and start again. Yeah. So the entire time, there was a giant clock by our heads, but we're convinced that it's only been 50 minutes that we've been high, even though the clock right next to us says 2 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. Whatever it is. And so we now thought we were going to die because we'd only been this high for 50 minutes and more high was coming.
Yeah.
More and more high. And it just, I don't remember much more after that, other than the fact that John continued to go check the doors until we went to bed. Yeah. Everything was locked and shut. Yeah, every literally.
It is really weird how you can just
kept looping.
You end up in like almost a cycle sometimes.
But I remember just to think being amazed that it had only been 50 minutes. It had been high and it had been 3 hours.
That's hilarious.
And I'd been sat. It took me an hour to change a SIM card from a phone to.
Yeah. I find it funny that like us as human beings, like in general.
We need to.
Sorry
to interrupt.
James, we need to light the cigars as well. We're going to run out of time.
We'll do a clink and then we'll light the cigars while we.
Chin, boys. Happy Friday night.
Cheers.
It's a pleasure. Sniffy. Okay, so do you know how to drink whiskey?
Go on, teach me, just in case.
Put it in your mouth and put it down your throat.
No, not your sex life. So you take a little tiny sip of it, roll and let that roll over your tongue, and then don't actively swallow it. Just let it kind of sit down to the back of your throat and let it go down. Then take a slightly bigger second sip. Yeah. And then, yes, you knew that already.
Yeah, I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, it definitely works because the first little sip kills off those little taste buds that go, alcohol.
It's getting the things used to it, isn't it? It's,
it just dulls them down. Look, Lou's had that and he's don't. Let's make him wait. Look at that. Why are you blinking like a sexy fish?
It's because the alcohol's like stinging my eyes. I'm just like, come on, stop talking, Lex. Let me drink.
It looks
kissing around me.
Yeah, it looks really feminine as well. He's like,
you went really pretty then for no reason.
Yeah.
You went full gender neutral.
Thank you, mate.
So we go in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's spicy, hot, right off the tip of the tongue.
That is spicy.
That is hot.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, it's still going.
It doesn't stop.
Oh, wow. That is a sipper.
Yeah.
That is hot.
Ooh,
That is still going.
maybe ice was a good shout with it.
That is a rising heat. No, I quite like them in that. They slow you down.
It's almost tangy. It's like that.
Yeah, I've got a real zip right down the middle of my tongue.
Yeah, it's nice now though it's going down.
Yeah,
like
it's,
the chest
it's
is warm.
If you're on a winter's night,
yeah.
that'd warm you. This is a winter's night by the fire outside drink.
Yeah.
This is along the lines of Buffalo Trace. That kind of heat.
I think it's sharper than
Sharp. No, yeah, it's instant.
Yeah,
Because normally the front of your tongue's the sweetness, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that took over that.
It's
So
literally
like
almost like it's that sharp. It's borderline zesty or spicy. It's kind of that.
It feels like there's a little knife in your tongue for a second.
Yeah.
Like a little...
Spice was immediately what I thought.
Yeah.
Like it's spicy rather than peppery.
Should we go in second sip? See if this
See
one's
if
a
it
bit
goes
more
down
mellow.
a bit. Let it roll a bit more.
No, the second one's much nicer.
Now remember, that is a 51.4%. That is strong as shit, and that is smooth.
Yeah, that second sip was.
Second sip, the heat is way more dissipated.
I felt the kind of the sting towards the back of my tongue on that.
Did you?
Yeah.
On the second?
Yeah, on the second
On
one.
the second, the front was fine. But that's the overwhelming part. That's what the first sip's job is, isn't it?
For me, it was
Still
the
hit the
first
front.
one. The first one was the back.
Oh,
The
right.
second one was the front.
Oh, really?
And I proper rolled it the first one. Yeah, so
I wonder if you sides rolled it.
maybe.
It's nice though, isn't it? It's got quite a smoky aftertaste to it though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's like
it's
an
definitely-
Irish whiskey at all.
No.
I don't think
not-
that's like a
not-
bourbon though.
It's not like a bourbon. It's not. It doesn't have that sweetness to it.
I don't even. That's
Because the bourbon's like a sweet, woody
I
kind
think
of taste to it, isn't it?
I was going to say. I think we were trying to compare it to something that we already know, but it's not. It's
It's just
different.
nice, its own thing.
Yeah.
It's nice though. I like that. I'm a fan of the Japanese whiskies.
That feels more. I know it sounds strange, but like a bit energizing. That zing is like kind of
Wakes you up.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think where some of them they're like much more mellow and comforting, whereas that's like
You.
yeah.
That's like a Chinese advert. Ha! You lip balm for men. Ha da da.
You know, like I don't know when you
You know what it is?
What?
You order from website.
yeah.
I'm so sorry, you don't know the joke. Every
don't.
time we order a Chinese after the thing,
They tell us off.
they tell us off for ordering it through. We ordered it through Yelp.
Yeah.
And so we ordered it through Yelp, and we went in, and they're like, "Mr. Griffin," I was like, "Yeah," because I've ordered from there before. I go, "Oh yeah, here, order. Next time you order from website." And I was like, "Oh okay." Well, and this is not a race action. Don't they actually sound
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this?
that's
They're full on proper Chinese. They're like broken English.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you know you got a good Chinese.
They shout at you to order from the website.
Yeah, order from the website. And so we tried to order from the website the next week, 2 weeks time later down the line. And I'm just like, I can't do it. I was going to order from this other one. And we went in and went, as I walked in, I said, listen, sorry, I tried to order from your website, but it wouldn't let me. That's why I've ordered it. He goes, yeah, website broken.
Brilliant. Oh my god, that is hilarious. That's like Karate Kid almost humor, isn't it?
It was a proper Miyagi. Apparently it's changed hands.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't think we've had it since it changed
No,
hands.
we'll have to find out. I wonder if these guys will shout at us.
If they don't, I'm not really pleased.
No,
I
no,
liked
that's
it.
part
You've
of the.
experienced
You went
it
in
now.
and they were almost like aggressive with your order.
Yeah.
Griffin, order, here we go. Good,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
That's their culture.
no,
though. That's like the culture of it.
Yeah, I like. Yeah. Well, the way they translate from the Chinese into English, they just do it so directly that it sounds super aggressive.
Yeah.
But in their own native tongue and twang, it's probably not at all.
Yeah.
Should we get these bad boys lit?
So
We
here
should.
goes the lighting challenge.
Oh god.
Yeah.
We all got a little nervous earlier,
I
I
know.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You was trying to pass it off to me.
I know, I was like,
nah.
yeah, go on, you go first. Let me watch you.
I was like, no, you've got the light in
here
your
we
hand. I was like, you go first.
You knew what I was doing.
We point and toast. Now this is a dual flame, not like he had a single today, so be a bit more careful with it.
That
I
is
think
a lot
that's
quicker.
good there. And then,
There it is. There it is. He proper popped
Ooh,
that. It had
yeah.
a pop.
Is it easier because it's slightly coned? Oh no, the other one was, wasn't it?
no, I think it was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pass it that way.
There you go.
Ah,
That's nice.
Right.
Is it good?
Yeah, real nice. Now here's the funny thing: your whiskey will change flavour when you smoke the cigar.
Really?
Yeah.
I can say I've never had whiskey
Did
and
you
a
not
cigar.
smoke
at
the
the
cigar
same
then
time.
drink the Coca-Cola we had? And it
Yeah, it
changed
did
the
taste
flavour?
different, actually.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the most manly thing that you've ever done. Is this going to take me?
I've done some pretty manly things in my lifetime. I'm building a house right
Oh
now.
yeah,
Yeah, that is quite
Building a
manly.
house.
All right, hold on. Whiskey, cigar, while doing some building work.
That would be
all
pretty good,
together.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No, but you are doing that.
Yeah. But
This
I mean,
is your manliest,
I feel like I need to
like a
This is the
double
pinnacle.
decker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where it all comes together.
I do feel like I need to finish the day though.
I think you need
and
to
then have
toast that a bit more.
Do I?
Yeah.
Is it too black?
You've not got any edging going.
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah.
the black round there was edging.
No, keep it in the
Right.
middle so it gets a nice cherry going.
Yeah.
Yeah, then stop now. So check your edge. There you go. That's better.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
And
And
then
now, yeah, a bit closer, bit closer, bit closer.
To me.
There you go.
To you.
There you go. There you go. There you go. And stop. Yeah, I think you're going.
there we go. That depth perception thing's hard,
It's
you know.
hard, isn't it? Yeah. We always think it's further. It's got more length than it actually has. I wonder why.
So what we learned today, though, was that the Davidoff, the way that they produce the cigars, is basically like aged wine. It's super technical. They uproot most of their plants from the uproot means uproot. You know, rather than taking the leaves, they pull the plants, hang them upside down, cure them for X amount of days until they're done, and then from there they then have. I think it was on some of the lines. There's only 2 people rolling hundreds of cigars because it's such a technical roll on the cone-shaped ones.
Yeah.
But on these ones, it said they're all hand rolled to a certain specification. They go through 117 checks before they're even released, which means they have 0.1% wastage.
It was something
Ridiculous.
I
Considering
feel like it
the
might have
volume,
even been more checks than that.
Mm.
I think it was more.
170, not 17. I think.
I can't remember if it was 317.
Oh no, it's definitely 100 and something.
Was it?
Yeah, no,
Sure.
the thing that he said that it passes through 300 hands
Yeah.
before,
Right.
from basically start to finish, because obviously they handle the entire process
Yeah.
from like literally planting the seeds
Yeah.
to the entire thing. So there's like 300.
I don't think mine's caught on that side
Okay,
yet. I
let's
think
have
it's
a
one side coated.
Yeah, I think you did toast one side a little bit. So
There we are. I think the one I did today was so much better. I did it.
I think
first
you
time.
did the same though today. You know, you cooked like one side. When
Yeah.
you went to puff it, you held it off to one side.
Oh,
Go now. I
okay.
think that's going now. Let's give it a go. Give it a good, but give it a good like pop, pop, pop. So when you get in, you go like this. Give it a good pull, and then blow out. So like.
Yeah.
Everyone who's listening to the audio of this.
Just, okay, I'll hold it. You do it with this, and I'll hold the flame.
All right, you ready?
How many minutes does it take to light a cigar? Okay, go. There you go. There you go. Look at that. Ooh, yes. Now you're going.
Nice.
That was a lot of puffs. That. I've been doing it for like 20 times. Trying to get it going. Lost my voice.
Yeah, that's going.
There we
You
go.
make your eyes water.
It's all right. Just
We've knocked ourselves
just
funny a few
swill
times.
it back with this.
Yeah, just take your nice.
That'll cure you.
How to kill myself.
You got a bit of a sore throat. Knock
Here you
back
go.
some of this
Knock back some
whiskey.
spicy whiskey.
Fucking hell, that is a
That
kick,
tastes sweet now.
Now it tastes sweet as shit,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Not after that.
Have you,
Still got the lungs in me. The
do you
smoke.
want a water?
No, I'm good.
Sure.
Yeah, I've got it. There we go. I could feel it like moving down.
Yeah.
I'd put all the smoke in the back of my throat, but then not blown out.
Yeah. That's.
Ah,
I found that
you
when
were
I
just-
was
you were-
like,
You were cameling it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was like, yeah, I was like taking it back
Yeah.
a little bit, which is it's a dangerous game with these bad boys.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, I've made a mistake.
I always feel like you can get a good evil smile with a cigar in your mouth. You know, it's like,
It's a teeth job, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been expecting you.
Yeah, Mr. Bond. I've killed many cats waiting for you. Ooh, well, that's nice. It's very
Yeah.
smooth.
Mm.
So, in this one, didn't he say we're supposed to taste the black leather?
Look,
Was one of his
I've
things.
got some.
Oh, daddy long legs. That's because the windows are open to try and cool the house
And
down.
the light.
Yeah, I
Yes.
tried to shut off all the lights we could, but
But then we put 2 huge studio lights on.
wonder why they're coming in. We've only got 2 bugs so far. We're doing all right. You're supposed to take your little wrapper off, aren't you? You left your little logo wrapper on.
I'm keeping them on.
Style now. It's,
You styled us out. You styled us out. Go on, what was
I'm
supposed to
using
taste?
that as a gauge for where.
Well, I think that the topic we're going to cover today, by the way, because we've said we're going to do it for a while, and there's 3 of us here, so 3 brains is better than 2.
You'd hope so.
Breakups.
Yeah.
You know, because we've dealt with a lot of losing people and things like that recently, which were, they are topics we need. But let's go with something that's a little less dramatic.
Yeah.
Because it fucking is, people. It's just a breakup. Your life will fucking carry on, and it usually will get better as a result of it. But breakups, they can be rough. And there's a couple of boys who actually I've seen this week gone through them. I won't say names, just in case they don't want to be named. But they people have been losing weight. Other people look like they've got the weight of the world on their shoulders, pondering life. What are your experiences? I mean, how did you get through them? Have you had any big heartbreaks?
Me recently, I've been in a 5-year relationship, and before that, I could never hold on to a relationship.
Yeah,
and that was definitely like a selfish thing for myself.
Yeah,
because I was always young, and I'd be getting into one, or I'd be like having fooling around with someone. It starts getting a little bit more, obviously personal, a bit more of a relationship.
Yeah.
But I was always very goal focused because I had to from a background. Like I wasn't born in a great background, and for me, a relationship was such a sacrifice.
Yeah,
it was like you get in a relationship, all of a sudden, all your free time is no longer. It's halved. It's like you've got to make sacrifices in a relationship because it can't all be about you.
Yeah.
But then
was that like holding you back from kind of career goals then?
For me, yeah, it was instantly as soon as like, oh, I've got to go and do this because I'm setting up an event. Like the first thing I did when I was 15, mum and dad didn't necessarily have the money to make ends meet. Mortgage. Mum was an alcoholic, so everything my dad was earning, my mum was drinking. Yeah. And my dad then had a heart attack, so it got to a point when he was in hospital. Yeah. Sole trader, mum's still drunk, not got a job. So like I set up an event when I was 15. First thing I did, sold wristbands for £8 a ticket. Long story cut short, made like 1,500 first event, and then paid some of the mortgage off, bought some more DJ equipment, speakers, PAs.
Oh, that's cool.
Did that for the next 3 years. But for me, like when I started getting into a relationship, it was almost like, oh, why have you got to go out and sell tickets?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not necessarily like that, but why can't you just come over tonight? I'm like, well, because I'm quite busy. I'm working.
I suppose at 15, it's quite a serious
and
gig, really, isn't it? That's good.
I guess I probably grew up a little earlier than most.
You had to, yeah.
Because I had to. And then for me, it was like the second that sank in, it was, now I'm gone. I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Yeah.
But then when I got my first relationship when I was like 21, like that was, I've never gone through that relationship. I've never gone through a breakup. I've never gone through a hard time. Well, not 100%, but after 5 years, definitely. Yeah. I'm in a relationship.
How old are you?
26. So 26, and we've been on a rocky road for the past year. Yeah. And without like going into too much detail, because obviously out of respect for her as well and stuff like that, it got maybe like 3-4 months ago.
It was Lindsay Lohan. He was dating Lindsay Lohan.
I want to make sure it doesn't go out.
Oh, have you killed it? There we go. Get back in quick.
Fuck.
Guys.
Speaking. This is hard to do with a podcast, isn't it? You got to speak.
Multitasking. You got to drink with one hand, smoke with another, and talk with your mouth.
Tell us your life story. Yeah, you're back on.
Yeah. I did it again.
You did it again? You're taking it in?
Taking it in.
Oh, that'll kick your ass, dude. Do you remember we accidentally did that, both of us on one podcast, and we both nearly fell. There's a point we're watching it back, and I was going, are you having your eyes there trying to hold the tears in? He's like, yeah, is that what you did before? I was like, yeah. And we both accidentally inhaled it, and I felt it kicked my ass for 10 minutes.
It's Nicky Rush, isn't it?
It was off the Village ones, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
And we accidentally both
took it back.
And there's a moment where we looked at each other and we're talking, and we just went, just, can't if I can take this. Just gonna scratch my eye with tears. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, but yeah, then it was on and off. Like on, it was off. My friends were like, what you doing? You're doing the same thing over and over again. And to be fair to her, we got to a point where it was like a mutual, this isn't good.
That's a good place to get to for a breakup.
Yeah, don't be wrong, best kind of way it could be done. Yeah. Because it was how it was affecting her, how it was affecting me, and then we've kind of separated on that journey. And it's far from over. I'm still going through that, like those motions, and she's still a best friend. Like my birthday, because I worked so hard, I hadn't planned anything for it. My friend's like, what you doing? I don't know, and I'll leave it too late. Like, even though we were attending that together, she still realised that I was going to be alone for my birthday. So she messaged all my friends, like made something happen for her. Yeah. So we're still in a very good place, but that messed my head up. Yeah. Especially in my first year of running my own business. Yeah. working with like big clients, Universal, Warner.
So what have you done in the meantime to kind of process that and help get? Because obviously, like I see you going from strength to strength with the content creation.
Yeah.
You're getting gigs. Miyagi, you die, fly.
Did you catch that?
Yeah, dead.
For anyone listening that can't see, there was a little fly, a little mosquito, and Lex just like a karate guy, bang!
I fucking hate them. I'm trained to kill those fucks.
But in terms of getting through it, I'd say first week was really rough.
Yeah. Did you hear the breathing thing? Did it then?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
It's all good.
Yeah, here's one thing I think I found. Give yourself 3 days. Give yourself 3 days. Because they say anything after 72 hours is you just fucking being miserable.
Yeah.
Chemically, everything's done after 72 hours. The rest of it's you. So, I mean, and people are like, that's so cold. No, but essentially we are a biological being. And it's not a fact of going, well, after 72 hours, you should be fine again. No, it's not saying that. It's just giving you a trigger to say, hey, what you're feeling now, you're choosing to kind of feel this a little bit more than your body is doing. Your body's not doing this to you. You're doing it to you now.
Yeah. And it is all you mind. It's all a mind game. Because I think when you're a kid, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. Why do we get ourselves where we get so dependent on another human?
Yeah, I know what you
Hollywood.
mean. I don't know what. I think, don't get me wrong, there's definitely an element of like importance to that. We work better, potentially we work better as a unit, because I think that if you're in the right relationship, you balance each other out, and everyone has strengths and weaknesses. And if you're with somebody who is strong in the areas that you're weak at, and you're strong in the areas they're weak at, as a unit, you can be better looked after. But to try and match those things up, that's quite challenging.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If they don't match, don't keep pushing to try and make something. Don't try and make two jigsaw pieces fit that don't fit.
Yeah, because there's a million different factors to a relationship, and what's going to work and what's not going to work, and what works 1 year, 3, 4, 5 years down the line. People change a lot, especially again, like in your 20s, like so many, like a shitload of changes. You've just got your own business and all these other things. So, it might not be compatible, and you might require certain things that are completely different now from a partner.
Yeah, from when you started, people change.
Yeah. And I think that, like, a lot of people, I think I've spoken about it in previous podcasts, where late teens, early 20s, there's so much change that goes on in your life. And like,
you're still actually changing chemically.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, exactly. But
you don't stop. I mean, we're especially now. I don't think we're really proper men until mid-20s.
No, but that's what I mean as well.
We still have that childness to us, don't we? Until
there's the chemical aspect, but there's the environmental aspect. We can go from being in education, depending on whether you went to uni or whatever else.
More now as well.
Yeah, so people are in education to their mid-20s in some cases. Yeah.
So you're softer.
Yeah, and then obviously there's the societal pressure of making sure that you're holding down a job and you're being a productive human being, and then you have a house and you have a mortgage and you have all these other things that add like layers of complexity and change you as a person, because you can't, not saying you can't, but most people aren't going to be as free-spirited and carefree, whatever you want to call it, when they're 35 as when they were 25 or 15, because you have to do more shit and be more responsible most of the time. So that's going to eventually start to change you as a person, which means your requirements from a partner are probably going to change as well. And so I don't think that it's a case that we become reliant on it. I think we just get used to
habits, dude. I think many people are in a relationship because it's a habit.
Yeah.
And you are so used to that other person being there, and you have these. You're so used to having them on the end of a phone or on the end of a text, or them making the food, arranging your days, doing something like that. It becomes a habit. Let me tell you one thing. If your sex life falls apart, if you're not having sex on a regular basis, that's a big warning light. Big warning light. If you're not finding each other sexually attractive anymore, that's an issue. You need to start working on that, trying to do some more extravagant things in that realm, make a bit of an effort.
As men,
if you're training a lot, Yeah, go to a BDSM sex dungeon. Lewis has a discount code for that.
Yeah.
If you go to any BDSM sex dungeon,
Just say you know me.
Just
They'll let you straight in.
at the door when they knock, and just say, I'm here to join in. I'm using code Louis Thrash. They'll know what you mean.
Yeah.
They'll know what you want.
They'll give you the free.
They'll give you the good stuff.
They'll give you the a complimentary gimp mask as well.
We'll take it involves
God.
involves a lollipop, a
One
tiger
size
thong,
fits all.
and a donkey. But I forgot what the fuck I was talking about now. I've got lollipop and a tiger thong in my head.
It was on relationships, routine,
Sex life,
The
basically.
sex life thing, that was it. Yeah. You need to talk to each other massively about sex. If you are not feeling something, you're going to end up going through the motions, and going through the motions is not a good thing.
Yeah.
But also, if you're training a lot, it is fine to understand that the will to want to have sex drops, but your ability to have sex doesn't. It's just that initial thought of the energy it's going to take because you're wrecked from the training. Initiate. Get over that mindset and just initiate. The moment you initiate, trust me, you'll be fine. You'll enjoy the sex and go through with it. But the thought of it is like the same thought you have, when you don't want to go to the gym, and the thought of the drive to the gym is what sucks. Not going to the gym itself, but getting in the car to go to that fucking gym. You're like, oh, fucking God.
You never regret going.
Yeah, you never regret going. You always have a good session no matter what. And it's the same with the sex.
Yeah.
Treat it the same way. Power through. Make the sex the habit. Make that contact the habit. Make something. Well, it doesn't even have to be just I think it does have to be something a little bit intimate, but it has to be regular. There has to be that connection, because otherwise, what's differentiating you from you and a best friend?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For
You see what I
me,
mean? And that's what most people say. We're still best. You just said it before. We're still best friends.
Yeah.
But the want to be intimate with them leaves.
I think that's two things that are different though with men and women. So for men, this is going to be generalising, but like I've had this conversation with multiple people. So for men, having sex allows guys to feel closer and build like more of an emotional connection with a girl. But it's almost the other way around. Like girls need more of that emotional connection first before they want more sex. Do you know what I mean? Like men need sex to make the connection. Girls need the connection to want the sex.
I think it's person dependent.
Definitely. I mean,
it still varies a lot.
I completely see what you're getting at. Oh,
yeah. We also learnt today that when you have a cigar that's coming to a point with lots of ash on it, you don't knock it off the end. You put the center. You put the end of the ash on the center point of the ashtray, and you just simply roll and let it fall off where it wants.
Yeah, let it break as it wants to. And
it does. It breaks in like a dome, more of a point, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Look at that.
he said-
If you
Guy
knocked
said
it,
it
it'd be
so
flat.
poetically today, didn't he? How did he say it? He went,
You allow the cigar to fall where it wants to fall.
something. Yeah.
And then at the end, when your cigar is done, you let it die with dignity.
Yeah.
You don't put it out. You just put it down.
Isn't that how Churchill described it?
Yeah.
That was how.
I like that.
I think so we've already said that we're going to try and get Anthony on the podcast at some point.
Turned out, I'm going to be honest, I did not expect much from it. I didn't expect that guy to be there. And he was immediately somebody I adhered to.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
And the moment we turned up, my outlook on what we're about to do changed immediately when I saw him.
Yeah.
Changed it immediately. I was like,
This is gonna be cool.
This is going to be all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because we were rushing round as well. There was loads of
Lot of
multiple things that were happening. There
was so much time pressure.
None of them had time.
Yeah.
None of them had fixed times. So we were like, they all need to happen, but we don't know how we're going to get them to happen. So we need to wait for something to fall into place so we can start moving.
It was almost like, if we have to cut something short, what we're cutting short. And in my head, it was like, right, well, if this with the cigar thing is just like, here's a cigar, this is what you do, and I'd be like, well, we can kill that in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I would have spent 2 hours with that guy.
Yeah.
Without knowing it.
Yeah. Well,
so
I
easy.
think he stayed with us for just under an hour, I
But
think.
we talked about this overall, and we will go back to the breakup thing. We're just tangenting for a second, because I just want to get this across as well. And we talked about this before. If you hang around with like-minded people doing like-minded things, you will meet more like-minded people with like-minded things that they want to do, and you will all come together, and more shit will start to happen for you. Stop hanging around with fuckwits that are no use to you. Stop hanging around with people that piss on the flames of your fire instead of stoke it. But honest to God, you might only have 1 or 2 good friends. That's fucking fine.
Yeah.
You don't need a million acquaintances. I would rather have 2 or 3 great friends than 20 acquaintances.
I also, as well, on that, because I really, really believe in what you've just said. Like, that's a massive mantra of mine. But I also, in my mindset, I know some of my best friends aren't the ones that are going to be the ones that are propelling me forward in the career that I want.
Mm-hmm.
Know that they're my friends,
Yeah.
and if they're a really good fucking true friend,
They'll tell you when you've been shit.
well, yeah, they will tell you when you're being shit,
Yeah.
but also they should just let you be you. And it's
Yeah.
all right if you don't speak for them 2 weeks. They might message you 5 times,
Yeah.
Dude,
and then I'm like, hey,
that's how I describe my best friends.
mm,
You don't see them for a year. You turn up to the house and they go, brew? You go, brew.
Yeah.
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 It's
You
like
don't-
you've never been away.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I have that because most of my friends live around the world now.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some in like Geneva, others in. I've got one in fucking Vietnam.
Yeah.
No, Hong Kong. Actually, I don't know which one he's in now. He keeps bouncing between the two.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be going out there. COVID fucked it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they're all of it, and you just meet up. And you're like, dude, brew. And it's
Yeah.
so
That's it.
nice, and they're your true people.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
You shouldn't have to work with them.
it's also like it doesn't have to be somebody who furthers your career or something like that. A lot of the time, a best friend is somebody who, if anything, can be that escape from that.
Exactly.
You don't have to talk about work or any of that shit. You can
It's
if you wanted to.
basically, if they support you when you say you want to do something, that's your boy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, or they'll go, no, that's like maybe think that one and this and give you a different angle.
Yeah.
But they don't shut you down.
No.
If anyone's shutting you down constantly, and you truly believe in something, just I kick the. No, give them an opportunity. Explain to them. Listen, every time I say something, you do this, and if they still do it, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like fair enough. Some people might just genuinely think you doing something stupid because you
Yeah.
might be doing something
You might
stupid
be
because
doing
we all occasionally do something stupid. But then occasionally there are people that are very consistent with them trying to like squash what you want to do, and then it can't. At a certain point, you're just like, I don't think this is.
Why are you
I'm
here?
seeing a pattern
Yeah.
here.
What's the what
Yeah.
do you bring to my world?
Also, I see a massive recurring problem of people that make friends in high school or college, because that's where you meet a lot of your friendship. And then you maybe not go to university. Your job might, the first job you might have for 10 years until you're 30, you might not actually meet the bunch of people that want to push you forward or help you. That everyone's timeline's different. We did stop and cut there, so it should be alright.
Right.
That is such a girly alarm. What is that?
I don't. It's just one that was already preset on there.
For anyone listening, that was like our alarm to recut the camera, but
What shall I put it at? About 15 minutes.
yeah, maybe for safety, and then we'll check on the sound as well. But picking back up to where that was,
I can check sound. You keep going.
where else was we? What was I was saying?
Sound is good.
Sound is good.
People propel you forward.
Oh.
People meeting in high school and sticking with you.
That was it. That was it. So people that you meet in high school and people that you think they're your friends, people almost become afraid that they can't find any other friends because when you're 25, you're not in that almost like circle of being able to meet new friends very easily.
Yeah.
The only way you're going to meet new friends is in a new workplace or by actively putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
And that is now what essentially the beauty of social media is, because if you have a business, you might start alone, but fucking connect with people.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, like you said, do things every single day around good people. You'll eventually meet them. All you have to do is move forward. As long as you're taking a step forward every day, and don't be subject to. That's a big fly.
Yeah, we all just suddenly all our concentration drifted because we don't even know what that is. That is some kind
Looks
of
deadly.
beastie.
It's a bald eagle.
I can tell you one thing. There was a hornet on my drive the other day, like an actual hornet, and it couldn't fly anymore. And I went and put my boot near it to like scare it off. Guess what the hornet did?
Climbed on it.
Went after my boot.
Oh no.
It couldn't even fly. It was like, come get some. It was like inbuilt into it. Like, I can't fly back and walk, bitch.
Yeah. It's like, oh,
And it came at me. I was like, no, into the grass. Go die with dignity. It was like, no, I'm going out hard, motherfucker. Stay hard. It was the freaking Goggins of
David
hornets.
Goggins of
Can't fly no more. I can still walk, motherfucker.
But you should do that after your career. Like,
I'm
all
going
your
to batter that
passions.
thing. You
Go
keep
on.
going.
I know. I've got to watch it. We can't keep going.
I can't kill that. It's too in...
that's sentient, that is.
Oh, it's now going off your face. I'm going to give it a running commentary. Lex versus Fly.
I can't do that. It's too... when I went close to it, it's quite a work of genius, the way that thing's built. You know, you look at it, you're like, no, I can see every little joint on that. It's kind of cool. I'm not whacking that.
Yeah. And it'll sting us tonight.
Yeah.
It's definitely cool. It would go out and get its mates, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beastie. Should we shut that door now then? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
How are they getting in? All the lights off for an entire entire floor other
Are
than
these
here.
windows open?
Yeah, but their blinds are down.
Oh, they'll see. They will get through. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll get.
But they're not coming in through there. They're coming in through the hallway.
I bet they're crawling in.
Yeah, brilliant.
Should I shut the windows?
Yeah.
All right. You carry on talking. So you're on.
It's basically
Yeah, keep going.
getting to a point where you're like, you don't know about whether you're going to meet new friends. So I guess, are you saying like you maybe hang on to friends that you out of the worry that you might not make new ones.
Yeah.
So you stick around with people that you maybe not 100% compatible with anymore.
Exactly. I'll give you an example. So the school I went to, as like I said, I didn't come from a good place or a good background. I went to in the area. If someone says I went to William Beaumont, people go, ooh.
Yeah.
Like that's the impression. Like anyone that's from my town, tell the school, they go, ooh, how was that?
Oh, like when you say you're from Burnley or Blackburn.
Exactly. They go, ooh, and that's never a good reaction to have. And to prove my point, I'm a paper round boy, still delivering papers at 17. I seen at least like 1 year after school, 7 people go to prison. Like first page news, beating up someone that was black, and that's because that's the community I come from. It's really, really bad.
Yeah.
But if I'd have stayed friends with the people, don't be wrong, they weren't awful people.
Yeah.
They might be listening to this.
Yeah.
Like they weren't awful people, but they weren't people that's ever going to enhance my life.
I'll say it for you, so you're not hurting anybody. Some of those motherfuckers will be born, live, and die in the same town, and they're cool with that.
Exactly.
And that's okay if that makes you happy in life.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do.
But if you're a creative mind and you want to push things and travel and do all those things, those people are not going to adhere to that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
No.
And I've had this discussion before, and I say it in too harsh a way, but we need all these different sectors of society because you need people that don't mind staying in the same place doing the same thing. Without those type of people, society crumbles. If you put people like us in power, everything be awesome for a week, and then in the second week everything be on fire.
Yeah, yeah.
That was what happened.
There's
You
different
need
folks.
the people that are happy in the mundane.
Yeah.
And it's all about what makes you personally happy. And if that guy is happy going to work 5 days a week to do something that's pays a wage that they need to support their family and the house and everything they need, and that 1 day of golf a week on a Sunday is all they need to keep them happy, then that's cool. We're not like that. We need multiple shit going on all the time to keep us entertained. Not even entertained, to keep us kind of motivated and pushing forward. Otherwise, we crash out into nothingness. So everything's a balance, and we need all. To get rid of any sort of person would somehow affect society in a negative way.
But then also I think that
But you just have to realise where you sit in that society.
And it's not like there's not like necessarily a hierarchy in terms of positioning. It's more just different people lend more towards different kinds of things.
Yeah.
Which means you're going to match up, I think, more with like-minded people. Sometimes there's definitely going to be sometimes people polar opposite that you just get on really well with because they're just fucking brilliant.
It pisses me off that we have to do this. We're not saying don't go and hang out with people that like doing a 9 to 5 and then having something at the weekend. We're not saying that. What we're saying is put yourself more towards people who, when you speak an idea out loud, come back with more ideas for you to flow off, and eventually you start to bounce off more people like that together. More ideas come together, and then more opportunities arise for you to go and do something towards those ideas.
Also, surround yourself with people that's better than you.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Don't be the biggest fish in a small pond.
Yeah. I'm like,
shittest way to be.
For me, if I'm like, because I'd make content and I'd do it for brands and campaigns and stuff.
Yeah.
I started like right at the bottom, but still now I've grown a lot. I've learned a lot more. But if I'm in a room, I want to be working with a DOP.
What was the first thing that I did when you came in?
When? Today?
When you came in with the camp and everything, because I questioned the shit out of you, didn't I?
Yeah,
straight, because I know that Zach knows more than me about the camera setups, the lighting, the mics, the sound. And I just questions, wasn't I? I was like, why did you do that? How did you do that? What's the number that you hit on that? Yeah, I'm happy. If I don't know something, you go, no, it's not that. I don't go, oh, I'm stupid. I go, oh, cool, I was wrong with that. So now I can get this right and be better next time. Yeah. That's my reaction to everything is, if I can learn something because I've been doing it wrong, that's not negative. That's brilliant, because now I can fix that and immediately get a positive from it next time I do something.
And you learn.
It is that saying, isn't it? If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And that's exactly like what it is. You are the average of, the 5 closest people around you. I think I'm sure it's like the 5 people around you.
That's a saying.
And it's true, isn't it? You're gonna bounce out.
Yeah,
so
they say the 5 people around you are the people who affect your life the most.
Exactly. Yeah. So, boy, being, this is your life. You have to be.
Which leads us back from our giant tangent on another subject, back to the relationship factor of the 5 people around you affect your life the most. So don't keep the person in the relationship with you who's now become the habit because you used to having them around, rather than being the person that maybe should be lighting, it's stoking your fire,
100%.
creating more flames, and and it does take a certain, like you were saying. So in terms of yours is very similar to mine. There was a lot of stress in my relationship previously that was to do with me being away. And them wanting to be with me when I was away. But for me, being away and doing work wasn't me being. When people say, and this, I don't know if this sounds harsh to people, but this is what, when people ask me, do you miss me? I don't miss you because I'm away working. My day is full because I'm away doing something I enjoy.
Yeah.
And to miss you would mean I'm sat around doing fuck all, thinking that you're not here.
Yeah.
Now that's different to me thinking, it'd be cool to have you here and seeing this. That'd be cool, but I'm not sitting around worrying about that.
Yeah.
I'm getting on with the job that I love to do, and I'll be back. So how the fuck I'm coming back? It's not like I've gone out on an expedition.
Yeah.
And also, it's not like I'm out.
Lex in the jungle.
Yeah, there's a timeline on when you're away and when you're back, and you're gonna need, in our profession, a girl or a guy if you're inclined, or a squirrel, whatever the fuck suits your needs.
Maybe not a squirrel.
Yeah. It's something in that you're going to need somebody that understands that lifestyle, and somebody that when you go out the door to go to work doesn't leave you with a kind of, I wish you weren't going, but instead leaves you with a, have a fucking good time, see you when you're back.
Yeah, exactly that.
That's what you need. And if they're not, they have a good time, see you when you're back.
Give
them a chance to change, but if they don't over time, it's wrong.
It is very different being apart from your partner, depending on the context of it. Like you said, when you're away at work, because in my old job, I used to work away constantly. I was like away more than
you were
at home,
yeah.
And that was for like 10 years of my relationship. And the other, was it yesterday? I think it might have been yesterday. Emma was down London with some work thing, and she was away for the night because they were at some awards thing. And it was weird because I was in the house on my own on the night, and I was like, it is actually a bit more lonely. Like, I never used to miss Emma when I was at work, or it was very rare because I was always busy. I was like working till the end of the day, go and get food and go to bed. But then when you sat at home in the time where normally you sat at home with your partner, and you'd put an episode or something
on.
I
appreciate that other person has that same feeling you just had. And we do need to appreciate that, but they also need to appreciate that if they're going to have that feeling, they need to counteract that by busying themselves with something else, not sitting around waiting for you to get back.
And I think that's the thing when it comes to like partners that you said earlier about it being the right partnership between both people that empower you.
Yeah.
Because if you're both in a relationship that have a 9 to 5, you're both distracted, you're both enjoying, you come home, and the time's naturally aligned.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then if you're in a relationship, say, one of you is very entrepreneurial,
or one's on a night shift,
and then one's on a night shift, or the other person is literally doing like a
maybe they're temping and doing something different every week.
Exactly that. But they're on their own a lot more, or maybe it's like a home run business, and it's they're on their own a lot more, but the other person is here, there, everywhere.
Yeah,
that is just a recipe. It's a formula to go wrong because, like you said, you're at home alone. Imagine that over a month.
Well, what it boils down to, it boils down to what I've found before is sitting down, looking at each other, and saying, "I feel this way about this," and the other person saying, "Okay, I understand that, but this is my life, how it's going to be. So this isn't something we can't change. It's going to carry on. So how do we fix how we feel about this, or maybe it's not a good fit?" And you have to just fucking man up and have that conversation. And the sooner you do it, the less time you waste, because you can spend 2 years being in a habit.
Communication's key, isn't it?
Easy. 2 years in a habit, and then you end it anyway. You've wasted 2. Well, I hate to say wasted, because you still learn things. And here's another thing about a relationship. Just because it's ended doesn't mean that it was a waste of time. No. In that time, you have experienced many things with that human being, probably changed quite a lot yourselves, gone through some good times, gone through some bad times. Every single fucking thing is a lesson that you can then put into practice in the next relationship.
Yeah, you know more about what you're going to want and what you're not going to want in a relationship.
Perfect.
I went to a wedding last year, and there was a friend, and their actual relationship, they broke up for those reasons because they knew they weren't working.
Yeah,
had 5 years apart,
and got back together.
And then, I think it was 5, but it was a good period of time.
Yeah.
And then eventually they got back together and their paths realigned. And they are such a good couple. I don't know everything behind the doors, but time.
They had the errors before as well that they won't go back to because they're already aware of them.
Yeah, and they spoke about it.
Yeah.
And it's that communication. Communication
Huge,
is always key.
Huge.
Yeah.
And because they communicated that they weren't right now.
I think a lot of people don't sit down because they're scared of hurting the other person's feelings by saying like what I said. No, I don't miss you when I'm away. It's not that It's not that I like being away from you. It's just the fact that I am enjoying what I'm doing there, and I want the ability to be able to go and enjoy what I do. Because the happier I'm doing that, the more successful I'm going to be at that, and the more successful we're going to be as a team.
Yeah.
But if you're constantly at me that you're sad and you're like ringing you up, crying that they're missing you, what do they expect you to do when you're on the other side of the planet?
Yeah.
What benefit is that to anybody?
Yeah.
You're basically passing your own self-misery onto somebody else in hope that they're going to feel the same misery because misery loves company. That's the thing. And it's just so negative. You're not...
Yeah, because then it just dampens things on your end.
And what do you want to do? Sit in a room together forever? It's not fucking
But
happening.
also, that's not healthy to be that reliant on somebody. Like, fair enough, if you went off to fucking war and you were gone for 6 months, okay, that's quite extreme. I can understand somebody getting upset and missing somebody. But when it's like a week or two here and there...
But we're not talking extremes here. We're talking... let's take out the variables so we can dial it in.
But what I mean is that's not healthy to the point where they can't entertain themselves for that much time, or they can't keep themselves occupied. Like, they should be able to see their friends or just keep themselves busy with other things. And I think that, that is outside of the scope of a relationship, because then that's either you or your partner and what their friendship circle's like and what their job is, what their hobbies are. Like, because I think some people have a relationship to mask their lack of other things in their life. Like, I've got a lot of shit going on, you've got a lot of shit going on, you got a lot of shit going on, and a relationship is just one more of those things, whereas some people just don't. Some people just maybe do their 9 to 5 and then that's it. They might not have a hobby. They might, their work ends when they clock off at 5 o'clock, so they don't have to think about any other things. Like, for us, that doesn't really, I don't think that really applies.
No,
so
we're all a little bit not unique in that, but it's a bit unique to have 3 of the same kind of career in the same room, because obviously most people who listen aren't going to be doing what we're doing. Give me that thing. I'm going to sort that out for you, because you breathe weird. How do you manage to do
I don't know how it's done that. That's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing you did before, yeah. Turn that off.
Should we just check the time?
Yeah, just double check the time.
But yeah, it's
we haven't really.
It's a massive, hugely important that you talk to people about things. Are you good?
Yeah, just got a battery on that. Yes, we've got
Nice ass shot they got for you on YouTube there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, single ladies, single. It's a big thing to make sure that if you are going through a breakup, that you talk to somebody about the breakup. Don't sit wallowing on your own, thinking about how terrible things are now because you're on your own and everything's terrible, because it really fucking isn't. One, you're single now, motherfucker. The world is your fucking oyster. There is no boundary for you other than what you set for yourself now. So opportunities are endless if you let them be. That was my what was the singer who does that? And Eddie Murphy makes jokes about him and people got mad.
It's Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder, yeah.
There you go.
Did you see Eddie Murphy joke he does about him? You want to impress me, Stevie? Here you go, take the fucking wheel.
Yeah.
Driving a car.
There's so many.
I love Eddie Murphy, Raw and Delirious.
Yeah.
That was a comedy. Oof. Yeah, so just to recap in case I don't know where we got to on the old camera. Where did I get up to?
You was about to go really into a relationship styled. I feel like you was about to hit critical.
Yeah, I was. It was critical mass was coming there. It was opportunity. So if you're single now, this is not something you should be looking at as a negative. You should be looking at all the positives now of being single. You have no boundaries on what you can and can't do and when you can and can't do it. You have all those things that you have been putting off because you didn't have the time, because you had to commit to somebody else. Go fucking do those things. Because you know what those things might do? Make you meet new people. And those opportunities, everything is about opening yourself up to, and there's no fucking luck, right? You open yourself to opportunities. When you are open to what good could happen to you, opportunities appear because you are open to them and you see them. When you are wallowing, you miss opportunities. It's not that they're not occurring, it's you're missing them. So all this wallowing, all this self-pitying, after 72 hours chemically, you're over it. give yourself 3 days. Like, listen, nobody's saying you shouldn't be upset about something, but you shouldn't be upset to something to the extent where it now diminishes your life further than where it was before. Yeah. That's a bad place to be, and that is your own doing, and you can flip that round. I'm not saying it's your own doing because you're a terrible person. I'm saying it's your own doing, so you have the power to fucking flip it. Yeah. So fucking flip it right fucking now. Say to yourself, no fucking more. We're done. We had a time. I'm fucking done. Now I'm going to start looking at the fixes and stop looking at the problems.
Yeah. Something you said earlier as well is about the like happiness of 9 to 5 and stuff. And like I think it all ties in together about life and perspective and what makes you happy, and that a lot of people are just happy with like their job.
Yeah.
With their content.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Well, but, I don't think many people are happy, but I think most people, I think content and happy is different.
Well, this is what I was going to say. I feel like most people fool themselves to think they're happy, and that's because I've got a relationship.
Ticking boxes.
Yeah, ticking boxes. But we're always I've got myself a relationship, I've got myself a job. Oh, I'm going to get a $2,000 pay rise next year.
Yeah.
Right. But actually, deep down, that passion they had, it's different with everyone. I really wanted to be a mechanic, but I'm actually right now just in a marketing job.
Yeah.
Or I studied law because my father told me that I need to do something good, or be a doctor or a dentist. But actually, every single time at night when they come home, the thing that they tune into on TV and watch, and they love. But the reason they never chase it is, one, they can't because of prior commitments. They've now put themselves into a relationship and stuff like that. And then when you start taking those things away that you think you've worked so hard for and have invested all this time, because time is our number one most valuable thing on this earth. It's not money, it's time.
And we chew it up like it's not.
Yeah. But it's like, it's very, very limited. Tomorrow could be our last day. Or it could be you've got 50 years left in you. But every single day you spend your time doing 8 hours a day in an office in a job that you've made yourself believe that you think you've got to do. But you don't have to do it. And actually, if you've got a passion and you're 30, 40, 50, it doesn't matter. Everyone's timeline's different.
It doesn't matter anymore at all.
No.
There's never been more of a time in the history of man where opportunity has been available to you.
Yeah.
We are connected worldwide. There is something that you can hold in the palm of your hand that connects you to billions of other people.
Yeah.
Nothing is out of your realms anymore. Give it a go. And like we said, every time you don't succeed at something, you're not a failure. You haven't failed. You've learned a fucking lesson. Yeah. You readjust and you reattack. And slowly but surely, you kind of pinball your way to where you want to get to. Yeah. And you bounce off a lot of stuff in the meantime. You try lots of different things. And eventually, sometimes you find you love something more than you didn't even know about.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, fuck, I got a lot of satisfaction in that. I'm going to see where I can go with that. And maybe you've got a skill set you never knew you had. Dude, I owned a fucking bakery. Yeah. And was able to do sugar paste sculptures that looked like you. I could take a picture of you and make you out of sugar. I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can sculpt shit.
Yeah.
And the majority of things, people can do anything.
Yeah.
They don't have the belief. A lot of people don't in themselves or confidence, because schools told you, the society's taught us, and that's not without going weird, but you've got to pass an exam.
Yeah. Set paths.
You've got a set path. You've got to learn. You've got to study. You don't have to do anything.
No, Lou, Dyslexio, that's his superhero name.
Yep.
Dyslexio, fucked up at school, like pissed around, fighting, doing everything. Look at him now, owning his own business, very successful, one of the most driven and, what is the word I'm going to use?
Arousing.
Sexually, fish face arousing. One of the most calculated and consistent people that I know, for somebody who seems to think that because you didn't make it through school that you're not intelligent. You're one of the most intelligent people I know. I say this to everybody behind your back. Also that you've got toddler legs. We said this before.
Like
when you walked in, because you walked in behind the light when you came in, all I saw was your legs walking. I was like, Lou, you never outgrew your toddler legs. Because you know how toddlers have chunky legs that are just disproportionate to their body. They look like, why have you got such strong legs and you can't even walk yet? Lou maintained those legs into adulthood.
Yep. Just kept them. I'm effectively a giant toddler.
The toddler thick.
Yeah. Toddler thick.
Your quad and knee ratio to foot is the same as when you were a toddler.
Yeah, that's probably about right, to be fair.
I think to summarise that whole little section though is just give yourself permission. Like,
yes,
give yourself fucking permission.
And be with somebody that allows you to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you go home at night time and then you're getting like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, why?
If you get the question, why are you doing that? No. You're doing that because you want to, and you need to scratch that itch. And failure is the only time you're gonna learn.
Yeah.
And like you're gonna learn a lot more from failure than you ever are from
every billionaire that's in the world today has fucked up multiple businesses prior to that one that landed.
Yep.
Massive.
Look, and they're the one they probably fucked up more than the millionaires.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
Yeah. There's the what's the I had a statement in my head then and it suddenly went.
It'll come back to you.
Yeah, it'll come back to me. But
Is it like a you win or you learn kind of thing?
no, it's something about failure. It's something I read, and now it's just escaped my mind. It will come back to me when it does. I'll say it.
You'll fail more times than you ever succeed, but you only need to succeed once.
Yeah. Ultimately,
Just made that up off the cuff.
yeah.
Boosh. That's a t-shirt. Actually, our t-shirt should be tangent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should
Just
get
right
some.
across the front.
Yeah.
You should get some tangent t-shirts made.
Yeah. Well, we've got. I like a cheeky pop,
Yeah.
and tangent could be another one.
Yeah. We
You
will
need to
do
that.
this.
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
Anyway,
Oh, no, that's not good.
in terms of if we were wrapping up the relationship thing, because we spoke about it, but
we need to wrap it up. What's
no, I mean in like summarizing
so
in terms of like Lex, if you could put two things, someone who's going through a breakup, what two things would you tell them to like prioritize?
going through a breakup, I would start thinking about what it was that you wanted to do before you were in that relationship. We're struggling here. Struggling here with Zac Cigar. Come on, it's going. Yes, he's back. He's back in business. You got to give it some man tokes. There you go.
I just don't want to do the whole thing
inhale
again.
it, yeah.
I've done it too many times tonight.
One of the biggest things you focus on is the fact that you are not down and out now. You're absolutely free.
Yeah.
You're absolutely free to do whatever you want when you want. And that is huge. Not many people have that privilege. And it's a fucking privilege now. So take advantage of it. Go and do all the things that you said to yourself, I'd quite like to do that before. Now fucking go and do it. Like all the dumb shit that I've done since has been mad. And I've met more people and done more things. Like literally I said to you guys the other day, last week I did not have enough hours in the week to fulfill everything that I had the opportunity to do.
Yeah.
That's huge. I haven't been like that for a long time.
Yeah.
And the time when I was like that, it caused problems. And then it got hindered, and it actively hindered my career.
Yeah.
Because I'm a nice human being was kind of then felt guilty for doing something I enjoyed when somebody else wasn't enjoying what I was doing.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter was, which was proven by time, it was the wrong relationship. And it's not that I had a terrible relationship all the way through. No, it had just run its course to the point where I was getting on doing more and more of something else I enjoyed that the other person couldn't find a similar path of doing something that took up so much time that they enjoyed, and so focused on me not being there. And I understand that, and it's fine.
Everyone needs their own thing, don't
And
they?
it was actually healthier that we're no longer together because of that. Because now I'm sure, long term, I'm definitely happier, and long term, I'm sure she'll be happier.
Would be as well.
Yeah, and she'll look back and realize that. But also, I'm sure, realizing the fun times we had and opportunities we did and the crazy stuff that we got to do as a result of it.
As well, I was thinking the term relationship can be across so many things. Like people have a relationship with work, a healthy relationship, and an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah, dude.
That becomes a part of a relationship of two people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because all they talk about is work.
Yes.
Oh, fuck. If people just talk about work all the time, I don't associate with that. People, they bore the shit out of me.
But that happens, and that can be the worst thing in a relationship. And sometimes it's like, communicate it. But actually, sometimes when you're talking to a partner and you're going through stuff, sometimes you've got to admit shit about yourself.
Talking about work is like talking about the weather.
Ooh, weather.
It's the same equivalent.
Yeah.
It's because you've got no shit to talk about because the person you're with has fuck all to interest you.
Yeah.
So you go, I'll talk about work then, I guess, fill the space. No, go find somebody else who talks to you about, dude, who do you think would win between a tiger and a giraffe? But it's in mud. You know what I mean? Like,
It's like, but it's in trees.
yeah.
A giraffe has a height
But the
advantage.
tiger can climb trees. It fights from the tree. It fights like those. What was that other movie where they're all swinging through the trees on wires and stuff like that? Hidden tiger, crouching tiger, hidden dragon.
Yeah. What would you like summarize as some advice? If you could give like two pieces of advice to me, what would you say is like the thing to prioritize
In a relationship.
like post relationship? It's broken up, like getting over
The fact that you're okay.
Yeah.
You've survived, carried on, and been successful.
Yeah, I'd say a piece of advice, let me think about this so it's actually genuine. I'd say the number one thing is to focus on you prior to the relationship, because that's who you are and who you were, and think about actually what was the goals that I want out of life, and then literally set a goal, because you've instantly in a moment regained so much more of your own resource.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm talking about resources in you, because a relationship takes your resource, and that's going home and cooking dinner, going home, spending time, investing time into your partner. It's like, actually, no, you now need to go look at your own resource and not spend it like you said, walloping. Take some time. You've got to take time. When me and Faye went through that really hard moment, and it was, we're not speaking for a month. We're calling it.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
You have to cut contact.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're not ripping the plaster off.
No.
Yeah, you're just stopping the bleeding slowly.
Ooh.
But you gotta let it out. You gotta let it go.
And for me, I know you said 3 days. For me, it took a week.
Just for me, I said to myself, you got 3 fucking days. It just gave me a stop point.
Yeah.
To actively go, you know what you said before? We're fucking at that point now. So what's your next step? It's just to stop you being in that infinite loop of wallowing, because that takes no energy. It's just like being same as depression. The reason it catches us so hard and so easy is because it takes no energy to be depressed. It takes no energy to sit and think about the terrible shit all the time. It takes energy to be up and be happy. We try and say this every week. People you see who are happy, who are energetic, who are getting out and doing things, they're having to create that fucking energy. It's not just there. Yeah. It's a focused thought to be that way.
And it's like, take a moment to remind yourself of all the good things in life. Like you say, that energy.
There are many.
Yeah, and like you said, it takes that energy. When you wake up, all right, and you wake up and instantly it might all come back to you. I'm not lying, it does. You wake up and you think, it's a time of solitude, your phone's not distracted you yet, you just woke up and it's just you and your thoughts. You've got to think, what's my good routine right now? What wakes me up and what sets my day? And it's different for every single person. For me, it's a shower. Yeah. Like, I jump in that shower, I play my music.
But you play good music. You don't play music that makes you feel
100%.
sad. You don't put on the song you guys to listen to together and go, oh. No. You put on some fucking metal or whatever the fuck it is that gives you goosebumps.
Exactly that. Yeah. Exactly that. And then you start your day. And before you look at your email, before you look at your phone, before you become distracted, do not distract yourself. That's my advice. Is it's so easy to then body yourself in work harder, distract yourself with emails, decks, whatever it is that you do, sell TVs. No. Look at you, look what makes you happy, and text that friend that you've not spoke to for a month. Yeah.
Like, we say this often.
Yeah. What are you doing Friday?
Yeah. How you do? Let's get together. Friday, how are you looking?
Exactly.
Do it right now. Reach out to somebody. Have a chat.
I definitely think for me, that's something that I would 100% prioritise. And you see it a lot of the time where people, they build stronger connections with their friends because there's so many hours in a day, and you obviously have to and want to give a good amount of time in a relationship as well as everything else that you've got to do with work and whatever else. And often, and a good sign of a really close friend is somebody that you might not see for days or weeks or months, and that's cool. They're not going to get upset. They just know that you're busy, they're busy, it's okay. But then they also, if they're a good friend, understand that if someone's going through a breakup, they're like, shit, I'm going to invest a little bit more time into this friend, try and see them once a week, even though normally we only see each other once a month. Yeah. And we'll catch up and do a little bit more, just like rekindle that, just keeping yourself occupied. I'm not saying you ignore the emotions that you're going through in the relationship. You still have to think about them and process them, and that is still an important thing to do. But let some of those people that you're close with in other aspects, obviously you don't fuck your best mate, but like you can still get really fulfilled, and there's like a kind of a pool of I don't know what you'd call it, just a pool of neediness which just gets satisfied by interaction with other people. And
don't bash the person you were with previously either. That's not a positive.
I was gonna say that.
Don't bother doing that. Focus, just talk about yourself, how you feel, and what you're gonna do for you.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's all that you can control is like your interpretation of the situation. You can't control what's happened. You can't control them. You can't change them. It's done. You just have control over your reaction to that situation. So yeah, just talk about it, and that'll help you process it. And again, if you've got a good friend who you are comfortable talking, maybe a little bit more in depth to, that's definitely it. Because when you verbalize something, that actually actively helps you process it. Because a lot of the time when thoughts are going on in your head, they're not fully formed. You're just feeling kind of these broken up emotions, and actually having to verbalize them so somebody else can understand it in a formed sentence.
And so somebody else can go, yeah, it's normal, dude.
Also, and then
I thought that when I did the breakup thing.
A bit of a bit of validation. So find just spend some time with friends. If you've lost connection with a lot of old friends, then just reach out.
And I'd say on the flip side as well, on the friend part as well, it's just like knowing how to speak to them. Like, I think you've made a really good point. Don't put the other person down. Because they're still a person.
Well, all you're doing is creating a negative loop again. It's going nowhere. It's nothing positive coming out of that.
Nah.
Don't do it. Just don't do it.
And actually, what it
waste of energy.
And if you're a friend and you're saying, "Oh, fuck it," and they're a dick anyway.
Don't spit at the sky.
Don't spit at the sky. Don't spit at the sky, because actually, what you probably end up doing there in a month's time will just be when you start speaking to that person, or like naturally you do. It's like, oh, you have this built up bad energy, and then it just turns into like a war. And why, when you can actually...
That's what I wanted to say, and we said it before.
Go on.
The way your brain works on a biological level, your brain processes memories differently. Your brain will actively degrade negative memories faster than the positive memories, and it's one big reason, not after 5 years like your friends, but why you shouldn't get back with people who you've broken up with. Because what's happened is your brain degrades the negative memories, leaves you with the positives, and that's all you remember. And you forget the reason. There was a very, very, very good reason you got to a point of breaking up. There were so many reasons that accumulated together to bring you to a point of breaking up. And they were valid reasons. They were necessary reasons. And it went forward for a reason that you're now forgotten. Don't do it. And that's actually a proven biological thing, that the positives stay longer than the negatives in the brain. It's the way we process memories. It's our coping mechanism. So that's a big thing to remember.
Yeah.
So that's a big one to stand by. Because we're all, especially if you're a decent human being, you have those moments of, I bet they're sad. I'm sad. And you have that habit. I want to go back to that habit. Don't do it. Create new habits. Good habits, better habits, positive.
I've got something that I thought at one night when I was just in my bed. Every single thing in life, you learn a skill, right? And a skill is a habit, right? It's just something you repeat yourself over and over and over again. Try and unlearn walking right now. Like,
that'd be so fun.
But you physically can't do it.
With these toddler legs.
Your toddler legs might go back quick.
But you physically can't unlearn walking.
Yeah.
It's not something you can do.
That's right.
But you just need to learn to walk a different way.
Yes,
I like that. It's like a new skill. You need to teach yourself a new skill.
Take what you know and improve on it.
It took you 3 years to learn how to crawl and walk. So it's probably going to take you 3 years to be able to learn to walk another way. But you need to practice that skill. Don't just walk because it's easy.
Yeah. And in terms, don't jump straight into another relationship either. I was bad for that because I don't know whether it's raised by a mum, got 3 sisters, the whole thing, wanting to care for a female in my life of some form. Now that they're not there, that could have been something to do with it. And I this time forbid myself from doing that. Yeah. Didn't jump back into one, and I could have done very easily. It could have been very easy because you meet people. Everything's honeymoon phases are amazing, aren't they? With every relationship, because everyone you meet is new and they agree with everything that you agree with, and they support everything you support because you're trying to be. Because you're not being you. You're being the fake person. You want that person to like.
Yeah.
And then eventually the real one comes out. So just find you again. Spend that time to find you, and then once you found you, you can find somebody else who matches the proper you, not 100%. The fake you that you're putting out to get somebody else. There's somebody that is look. Who are we talking about there? Somebody for everybody, and we came up with a really random scenario where there was someone really freaking odd, and they were with somebody. What was it we said? Oh, I can't remember. Sure. But there was somebody who was. I don't know, let's say somebody was obsessed with trains and train conductor and that was their life and everything like that, and that dude still had a girlfriend. You know what I mean? There's somebody for everybody. There's billions of people on this fucking planet. The fact that you've just lost one of them doesn't really fucking matter in the big scheme of things. Unless you sit and wallow and close off all your options.
Yeah.
And it's a choice. Don't make that choice. Right fucking now. Because you can do it. You can flip it. Tomorrow can be a different fucking day, a better day.
You're the only one that's in control.
Yeah.
Well, ultimately,
Exactly.
like everyone looks and compares to other people's lives. And it's like, oh, how did they get that? Oh, I want that.
Even more so now with the highlight media. It's not social media, it's highlight media.
Do you think that you fully 100% get over a relationship and like not just get over it as in like we've dealt with it, like move on, heal completely without entering into a new relationship? Do you feel like
yes,
part of the new relationship helps just finally seal everything from
yes,
the
I think
last
you
one?
do if you realise you don't need somebody else.
Yeah.
When you find out, when you get to the point where you don't need somebody else, you're good.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, yes, 100% you can get over that because you was fine when you was growing up without a relationship.
Yeah.
And if you actually look at human history and what it used to be like, there's a few books that I've read, like biographies of, or when you like listen to a whole book that's like a 20-minute audio and it recaps it.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest, I don't read full books. I'm not big into that, and I it's something that I probably should do more.
I'm the same dude, yeah.
Yeah. But there's something this what was it this one now? It was tribal, back in like tribal times, like caveman style times. What they'd do, the tribes would believe that obviously they didn't have a full scientific history like we did. They didn't really know how sex worked or how babies worked. They believed that if a man, like all the men in the tribe, had sex with the same woman,
I know, yeah, I've heard this.
yeah. They would get all the best qualities.
Yeah,
Right.
So they would have sex with all the men,
Yeah.
and whoever got them pregnant.
Well, no.
But they didn't know.
They didn't know
about
who
it.
was who.
They didn't know who was who, so they
But they-
treated the babies all as like one tribe.
Yeah.
And there was all the parents.
It was, there was a full tribal family. Yeah, I know that's true. I heard that literally like 2 weeks ago, maybe a week
Did
ago.
you?
So was that a long time ago you heard that?
Yeah. I've got a lot
See, I heard that
yeah.
recently within the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
That is
and they're
truthful,
just
yeah.
raised that like all the parenting was shared throughout the group because as well in the tribal cultures, men would go off and hunt and women would look after the children, and they would like prepare food and gather like and forage and things like that. So like everyone just had their roles and everything was shared as a collective.
Yeah.
Which I think in a lot of ways, when you detach, I suppose there's going to be detachment. They're gonna lack that like extreme intimacy of a relationship.
Yeah.
But then also they're going to get a lot of other things. They're going to get lots of support because maybe like I don't think there's any evidence that shows that we are meant to be monogamous. Like
No, it's a societal thing.
yeah, I think that's purely a societal thing. Whether it's right or wrong, the fact that divorce rates are fucking through the roof probably would say
Isn't
that
it
maybe
like
it's not
70%.
Is that what it's gone to now? So it used
I
to be
think
50.
might be more.
Yeah, so like maybe that says that we're not necessarily not saying that it's not the right thing to do for some people, but it might not be naturally what happens because how many animals are monogamous? You know what I mean?
Like
Penguins.
2, 3, 4.
Penguins are.
Swans.
Yeah, there's a
couple
swans.
of birds.
Yeah,
An owl, maybe.
but yeah, the vast majority of them aren't.
Nah.
Yeah.
No. The ones that we came from aren't monkeys.
They love to.
They love a bang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, they use sex as a greeting mechanism, don't they?
We do nowadays.
Yeah, Tinder sorted that out.
Yeah, it's funny.
But I think there's a lot of lessons we learned there, and I think from all of us, I think even though we've had very different experiences, look at the common consensus we've come to between us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to take it there, and if you are going through that, hopefully, everyone who's asked us about that breakup thing, and people going through it now, especially post-COVID, because I know a lot of people broke up during that. I hope that's helped a little bit.
I hope so.
Help me
Yeah.
reaffirm things in my own brain. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm super happy.
Yeah.
And not one point do I second guess anything I just said.
That's really good.
Same.
Yeah.
Not one.
Yeah.
That's good.
I would also say break contact. Huge.
You've got to.
You've got to do it.
Yeah.
And I know, like you said, she did the birthday thing for you. I would still suggest that she stops even doing that because it's making her hold on to you. That might not be hindering you because you're getting a good thing from it, but that's hindering her.
For me, thing is that it's different because we was both in the same situation. So it was like when we came to that moment, it was very much of like right now, because she started her own business as well.
Okay.
And it was getting to the point where like I wasn't good for her as well, and that was the same conversation back.
Okay.
So our relationship got to a point, and it was because we talked.
Yeah.
No, that was actually the
Oh, well,
reason
then,
why.
you had the talk before.
Yeah,
then maybe that's a little bit better.
Yeah, we spoke about it and we knew we weren't good, and we knew like I wasn't doing my actions in my life wasn't benefiting her, and her actions and where she was in her life wasn't benefiting me.
I think as long as you set strict boundaries between that reconnection of that kind of thing, of allowing someone to do that for you, as long as there's a boundary of this is just a friends now thing. I'm just doing this because I like you as a human.
Yeah. And and it's one of them. I think there's no one set way of doing anything.
Yeah.
Like
that is a good thing to remember.
Yeah.
Nobody's got the right.
No.
There's no perfect way.
There's no perfect way.
There's some definite wrong ways.
Oh, there's some definite wrong
many
ways.
other good ways to try.
But what will work for one human will work completely different for another, and it's like really important. And that's actually a really good thing to do. Do what works for you, but also at the same time, don't be afraid of listening to someone's advice if you're struggling, because try it. Ooh,
there we go. We're coming to the end point anyway.
Yeah, but try it. Look after yourself, number one. And make sure you're doing the right things for yourself.
Yeah, go back to being number one in your own life.
And you should carry that till you die.
I think that's so important. I've realised that now in this time that I've had, that it's massively important because it lets you know what's truly important to you, what really, really matters, what makes you happy. And that's the biggest thing you can be, because if you're happy in yourself and in what you're doing, you're only going to be better for other people in that way. And if you compromise that for other people, it's only going to deteriorate. Because you're going to resent it even if you don't mean to.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So, yeah.
Before we end, should we triple check and make sure the mics are still on?
I've been checking.
Have you? Yeah. Definitely still on, isn't it?
Still doing the peeky thing.
Oh, we're still doing the peeky thing.
Alright, it's all been good.
We we had a different setup, so that's why we're a little bit nervous. We keep checking.
Zac didn't know, but when he came, he was the sound engineer.
We've rigged up.
Can we also just point out that Zac has a Mary Poppins bag?
You're literally just pulling out all.
We've got 3 mics, so one of them's not an actual proper mic. Zac was like, "Just let me go check my bag." Comes back with a mic. Well, we've only actually got a port for 2 mics. Actually goes in there, and it sounds just let me go check my bag. Comes back with a full-on portable sound, like a mic. What do you call that? A mixer.
A
full portable mixer, which we're actually going to invest in after this. Now, I'm going to go buy that one off Amazon straight away now because it's so much. It's worth it.
It's way better.
We can carry that everywhere and do things. And we can have 3 people. We're going to buy another mic.
Well,
we're going to get that mixer.
That can take up to 12.
Can have up to 12 people.
Hell, imagine.
Can you imagine 12-person podcast?
Sick.
Oh God, yeah. I think that'd be chaos.
Especially with the whiskey. Edibles and 12 people in. You just let it run.
If you get one that's like this, it'd be well expensive.
Oh, I know. We've been quite conservative, mate.
Yeah.
You should have seen last week's. I'll show you last week's rum, which was, we didn't have any more the next night, and we didn't have any more much after the podcast because it ran quite late.
Yeah.
And we'll show you the bottle.
Lee messaged me after going, "You were definitely drunk."
Oh, mate, Lee messaged me that. Yeah, he was listening to the podcast like, "You two are definitely drunk on that one." But at one point in the podcast, I do this. I go, "I'm so drunk right now."
Lee sent me some photos of his bike because he heard you trying to describe the bike to me.
Yeah.
And then he just he obviously was like part way through the CREWCast, and then just like texted me over like a load of photos of the bike.
It is so beautiful. I've been on eBay every night since looking. I found a few shooting on an R5 people. So it's just a little cheap camera from the corner store, worth about £6,000. I do want that. I'm waiting for the R3 to come out, and then when the R3 drops, I'm going to see what happens to that one and the R3, and I'm going to see what the difference is in what we use them for, because obviously I use it much more for video and then portrait style photos, I guess. And I'll see which one leans which way in the other, and then that'll be the biting point.
I think the R3 will be for sports.
You think it'd be more fat? Oh, so that might suit me.
Yeah, I think it'd be massively, not to go like super tech on a podcast.
Yeah, may as well do it.
Yeah, but I reckon it will be like a sports photography camera, very much like the challenger to the 1DX without being a challenger.
Well, that's what they wanted it for, isn't it? It's the competitor to their 1DXs.
It's the mirrorless. It's the mirrorless version of the 1DX. So it'll be a lower megapixel, sitting around 20 megapixels, I think. That's 50 megapixels.
But don't they say anything above 20 is kind of redundant in this day and age now?
Depends what you
unless you're creating billboard imagery.
That's the thing. So like that thing is, though, if I take a photo on that, I can crop in. So
that's what I like, which makes me lean towards that because I love the photography so much, and that can handle video like a motherfucker. So if the R3 handles video a little bit better than that, is it really going to matter at this stage? Nobody's running 8K anyway.
No one's running.
So by the time someone runs 8K, that's still going to be kicking ass.
Yeah, because People say that the R5 overheats. I've not had it overheat on me once, but I've never used 8K raw once.
I've only had people say. By the way, we're talking about the Canon R5. Only overheated on them on 8K.
Yeah,
But software upgrades will improve that.
massively. It already has. There's like the software upgrade like 0.3, and already it's like all the heating times doubled.
Yeah, and then they'll start bringing out more affordable external hard drives and all that kind of stuff. It's going to become more because they're all going to need it.
Yeah.
So that's going to get more mass produced. It's going to become cheaper.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool era to be involved with photography and stuff like now.
Oh,
I
massively.
think there's so much now that you can go in and buy and pick up and use. It's such that in the past would have taken you years of learning.
100. And
You can now YouTube and go on.
if anyone ever wanted,
Look at Lou's face.
what? Oh, you literally no idea.
He was like, "Is there a winder on it? Do you have to wait for the flash?"
If anyone wants to learn, though, it's like don't go out and buy a $5,000 camera. Go and buy a grand one because it's just going to do equally as much.
I would go and buy one of either the Sony A7S's or A7R. Even they're still kicking ass. Even the if you want something little and compact that's really fun to use, do you know what's really quite sick? The Canon M50 is a beastly little camera.
I've never used it.
I put my old EF lenses on it, which were designed for it's an APC sensor, which is a cropped sensor, which means if you put a full frame lens, just to make it simple, it's basically it doesn't take in as large an image, so it's you get lenses designed for the cropped sensor. I had some, so if I can't use them on the EOS because it's a full. I had the Sigma 1.8, beautiful. It's internally stabilized, 1.8 through the entire range, dynamic range.
Yeah.
Put it on his little M50. We got an adapter for it to go on, £25 from Amazon.
Yeah.
Put the adapter on it, dude. It makes his camera look like a fucking beast now, and it runs image that comes out of it just for taking for Instagram and stuff. Killer.
Majority of it's all about the lens
Because
anyway.
the glass deals with the light so well, and you're getting compressed images on Instagram anyway. You don't need a 50 megapixel camera for Instagram.
No, you do not.
You don't need it for YouTube. YouTube compresses even the fucking 1080 shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't need masses of money. You just need to be clever with your picks of lenses and stuff. And it's have a fucking go and get excited about shit. If it's not cameras and it's squirrels, get excited about fucking squirrels. Just go do it. You've got the freedom to fucking do it now because you're single and it's fucking cool. It's not the end of the world.
I think that's a good way to
wrap it up.
Yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed this. There hasn't been any question time because, well, my phone died and we didn't get a chance to, and we knew we wouldn't have time, and this was three brains talking.
No,
but I think we'll do more of this. Having the guests on is fun. If you enjoy it, let us know.
Yeah.
And because we're going to do more of it. And
Thanks for
hopefully
having me.
now Zach as well is going to start becoming a YouTuber.
Yeah, it's a thing.
He's going to start creating some of that content and pointing the camera 180 degrees back towards himself.
I like how you have to think about
Yeah.
that.
I did. 'Cause I was going to say 360 too far. It goes back to where it was. 180 degrees. He's going to do a 180, and hopefully, in terms of helping on that, I'm going to try and do some fun stuff with Zach on a semi-regular basis because work schedules and that. But the more, the merrier. We'll drag Lou in.
I love it.
As much as possible.
It almost goes 360 when I think about trying new stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to call some. And I can actually say today had an adventure bike dropped off, maybe by Harley Davidson, which we're going to be having some fun with. We'll be planning that tomorrow. Oh, and also by now you'll know I'm now with My Protein. Yeah,
You can finally say
Better
it.
say it.
For the
I'm
last
with a company.
5 weeks, we've been like,
dude, I've
something.
been going and filming secret shit with them that's not going to be out until like later in the year. It's been a fucking kick-ass. First week has been a killer. It's been awesome. And currently, if you're listening to this, there will be a sick offer going on with myself and My Protein. You will be able to go to my Instagram, find the post, and go on My Proteins. I think by now, because it's Monday, it should be out on My Proteins as well. We're going to be doing a deal where you can win. You're able to up for grabs, and it's simply just for following and joining in. £200 gift voucher for some lucky son of a bitch to get some supplementations in there. There's also going to be a 40% extra discount on top of all the already ongoing discounts, only for you guys following me. So you could end up with like 60 or 70% discount on shit, which is mad. Now's your time to fill up your fucking locker. Get all that shit you thought, I'd like to try that, but it's a bit, fucking buy the shit out of it right now. Buy all the stuff you wanted to try.
The clear waste stuff is fucking brilliant.
And you have to try, and we're going to do this. But this is a Lou vetted thing.
Yeah. So it's the vegan one that I've got. I don't know whether it works.
The My Protein clear way vegan.
Yes, so there's the lemon and lime flavour, and then there's a strawberry flavour.
But there's a twist.
If you mix them together, they taste just like Maynard's wine gums.
Yeah, and
it's
he's
liquid
and
wine
you've given
gums.
this to people
Really?
who don't.
Yeah.
He's giving it to people who don't drink protein shakes, and they've been like, "That's fucking wine gums."
Yeah,
My God.
And I told that to the people at My Protein. They're like, "What?
yeah,
You do what?" And they're like, "Oh, we're trying that." They
Yeah.
don't even know.
yeah.
They're not even aware.
It's because I bought the two and I was like, I don't know which one to try first. So I was like, oh, I'll put one scoop of one and one of the other. And I was like, this is wine
Fucking
gums.
wine gums. So there you go. Go get yourself some wine gums, get jacked, and enjoy that discount. And make sure to join in. I think all you're going to have to do is tag some friends in the comments, follow me, follow My Protein, and just get involved as much as possible. There's going to be some cool stuff going because now on My Protein, you've got myself, Matt Does Fitness, Brandon Harding. There's somebody else as well. There's so many of us. Niall, I think, is with My Protein.
Oh, is it?
Eddie Hall is with My Protein. I've already had some stuff put forward to do with Eddie Hall.
Yeah. There was somebody I was going to say, but I won't say.
What?
The person who you were doing that secret thing with. But
Yeah,
not
no, we
directly
can't say
with.
that
I
yet.
can't say.
I'm absolutely not allowed to say anything
yeah.
about that yet.
Oh,
But it involved a lot of green screens. It involves a full day of shooting in the most prestigious fucking thing, a 20-man crew, the biggest green screen I've ever seen in my life, the size of an actual house. And it's going to involve a UFC fighter and some farm animals.
Ooh.
And a very dark Friday.
Oh, is that too much? I don't know.
A dark day in November.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. So enjoy that. Get on my Instagram. Make sure to follow Black Country Bible as well, because we always, when we do competitions, we always include those in those giveaways when we do them ourselves. And also check out Zac. Oh no, your original Hancock on Instagram.
Yeah, I wanted to change. It's been since a kid. I wanted
Dude,
to change
I'm so
it.
pissed that I'm called Lex Fitness. It annoys me every time I type my
Yeah.
own fucking name in there. But it's because we were on there too early and we
Yeah.
didn't think it through.
That's the exact same story.
Yeah,
Now
but
I've got to change it.
Original
to some-
Hancock's cool though.
Yeah, it's
It
alright.
is still cool. It's better than like Fitness. It's like you put Zac Pictures.
Yeah.
There you go. Every time you look at Original Hancock, I think that could be Zac Pictures.
You know what? That's actually just made myself feel really better.
That's it. Thank you all for joining us. Thanks, big thank you for that, man.
No,
And thanks for opening up
pleasure.
as well.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you
having
very
us.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you again, Mr. Lewis over there. in the corner. Anything else you need to say before we go?
No, I have nothing to add.
Don't you?
Nothing of value to add right
That's
now.
it. Let's go eat some chili, and I hope you all have a fantastic week. It's Monday. Make your own fucking energy. If you've had a bad week last week, leave it behind. If you've had a good week last week, bring forward what was good and carry it the fuck forward.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you down the line. We'll see you next week. We're not missing another fucking week.
Toodle pip.
Toodle pip.
Boost.